Sometimes I like it long and hard, but tonight I just want a quickie. Saturday night on Nightcap with Erica, we have quickie sex convos with men to tell women everything they need to know. We have comedian John Poparamo, Coach KJ, JL Kirkwood, Robert Kendall, and Dr. Ryeal Simms. Tune in. Hey, it's Erica from the south side of the Chi, and I just completed the 2020 census. If you're not counted in, you'll be counted out. And I don't know about you, baby, but I want to be in, not out. What are you waiting for? Take the census. Go to 2020census.gov. Hello. What's up, y'all? Happy Saturday. Welcome to Nightcap with Erica. And if you don't know, here on my show, we celebrate everybody from the ratchet to the righteous, from the pulpit to porn stars, and all that in between. So basically, my show is full of a bunch of hot messness, if that's a word. But it's all done with love. So I'm glad y'all are here. It's Saturday night. I know we're quarantined. If it wasn't for that, most of y'all would be out hoeing right now, probably. But instead, you're in the house. Maybe some may still be in the house hoeing. But if you're not, you're here to party and hoe quarantine style with me. I got a fun show tonight. As you know, my show tonight are quickies. I'm featuring quick interviews with some of the coolest men on the planet. Some are comics, some are life coaches, some are sexperts, some are dating and relationship coaches. But no matter what, they're going to all come on here and tell us things we need to know about dating, sex, and relationships. And it's just a laid back, fun night, okay? What are you drinking? I just pulled my drink out of the freezer. So it's going to be good and cold. It's from Creative Click Cocktails. And as a matter of fact, while I'm at it, let me do my small business shout out like I love to do, and show love to the small businesses that show me love. And in a minute, I got a surprise for all my small businesses and entrepreneurs in Chicago. I'm going to show you some real love. But yeah, as usual, drinking Creative Click Cocktails, Black-owned business on the South Side. If you order from them, they will mix your drinks up and come and deliver them to you. The owner is named Nikki G. She is a Southside girl, so I got to show her love, right? Oh, goodness. Did I freeze it? Okay. Whoa, there it is. TV magic. And I'm putting it in my little custom-made glass. Y'all see that? One of the viewers on the show loved me and made me a glass that says Nightcap with Erica. And it has Swarovski crystals on it. Y'all know I'm hood. I don't know what the hell that means. Swarovski. How do you say it? Swarovski? Some goddamn crystals on the glass, y'all. That's all we need to know. Woo! We got a lot of talking about tonight, so I'm going to fill it all the way up. Look at that. So shout out to Starlights. I have her name going underneath. I got my So Rebellish earrings on, showing them love. And then look at my t-shirt from So Rebellish. I love my earrings stylish. Quinn, you know I love you. She owns So Rebellish. Y'all check her out. Baby, so I got my drink. And since I'm shouting out small businesses and showing them love, another small business I want to shout out is me. Woo, I'm a small business. I'm a thick, juicy, big business, actually, but you know what I'm saying. I am Miss Pound Cakes, your stripper for the evening. If you love me and you like what you see and you want to see more, you want me to uncover more and get butt naked with my intelligence, go ahead and tip your stripper, cash app, whatever you want to do. I always feel awkward saying that out loud, but really, for me to put this show on and do it, it does cost money. So show me love and support me if you can. Anyway, speaking of other more important small businesses, there are, the times we're going through right now with the Black Lives Matter movement and George Floyd's killing, Breonna Taylor, and all the things that we're dealing with. There are some of our brothers and sisters of the other hue, my white friends, our allies that are out here doing work to make sure that all of us can feel that liberty and justice for all, right? But some are actually what I call accomplices, which is more than an ally, right? An accomplice gets dirty with you. They hide in the bushes in all black and do the dirty work. They jump out and do the things they got to do. We have an accomplice on the show today that's about to make an announcement and give a really nice gift to some entrepreneurs in Chicago. So I want to bring up Gracie Meyer, my friend. Where are you, Miss Gracie? Hey, girl.
Hi. What's going on?
How are you? What you drinking?
I'm drinking some red wine that I got from my roommate.
Woo! Yay. Thank God for roommates.
Truly.
I love it. So everybody, Gracie is a professional artist here in Chicago. She works in the theater community heavy here, but she's also an amazing photographer. So much so, she did my last headshots. Let me show you. That was the one I had up when the show was starting. Yes! Look at that, baby. My hair was so cute and pink.
This
is that same hair. Whoa. It's been like, we took these pictures in February. And she and I met because she offered a special to all the Black artists in Chicago, all the performers, and said, come get headshots for me, sign up, and just pay what you can. And she literally meant that. Pay whatever you can, because I know that Black artists are paid less, they work less, and because of that, I want to be an ally and accomplice and help you all with getting headshots. So I have to commend you for that, not take advantage of the deal. What made you come up with that, Gracie? Why'd you do it?
That was something that we had started, a friend of mine and we started that a couple years ago. Actually surrounding some stuff for the trans community. It was right when 45 had passed some legislation banning healthcare stuff. And so we were offering free or pay what you can headshots for trans folks, trans artists. And then we just sort of kept figuring out like, well, what are different ways that we can sort of help to economically offset like all of this pressure that the government and systemic oppression and like other reasons that people may not be getting their bag. Like what are ways that we can offset that? So that's been sort of a practice that we've kept up for a couple years. So,
wow.
Yeah.
And have you always been this way? Been a supporter of people, the trans community, the Black community, other people of color? Have you always been so woke?
That's a great question. I got very lucky in that I was able to work with some theaters downtown as a student and work with other people my age who came from all over the city, all different types of backgrounds. And that work sort of started for me when I was around 16 or 17. So I was introduced, to ideas like prison abolition, like these other really big, heavier concepts that we're now seeing white folks, especially sort of coming to now. I have like the benefit of having learned that a long time ago and getting to like practice that and like, help other folks learn about it as well.
Right. And that's what we really need, Right. But it's so important that we have people like you nowadays. We've needed you all the time. And they've always been white allies. Hey, John Brown, he was one of the big freedom fighters to get rid of slavery. He actually even died for the cause. And we always say we want allies. And then sometimes there are white people like, well, I want to be an ally. I don't know what to do. And then there are people like you that are like, I don't need to be told what to do. I understand. And I'm about to jump out here and get shit done. And that's what I appreciate about you. And then even once you brought it to me and said, well, Erica, I know the Black artists in Chicago, they work less. There's less opportunities for them. They're probably also paid less when they do stuff. So it's okay for me as a white girl that's a photographer, and I'm in a position to help to allow artists to come in and get free photography or pay what you can for me. And I hadn't even thought. I'm like, you damn right, Gracie. We do. I do get paid less sometimes. I mean, it's plenty of jobs. Even look, the white boys really get the work in Chicago, especially in theaters. It's a lot of work out here for them. But for those of us that are others, not so much. But until you brought that to my attention, I was like, yes, right. That's why a lot of times we can't afford headshots, and you need the headshots in order to get more work. So
it's an investment, but it's like really hard to meet those like prices that, especially like, you know, in a competitive market, people are just going to put out so that they can make a living.
Yes, because some of these, and listen, I believe in artists getting paid what they're worth, obviously. But I do know sometimes if you ask me to come and spend $500, $600, $700 for headshots, you've got to know that as an artist in Chicago, I cannot afford that. And I'm on TV and I'm in movies and stuff. God damn it. I don't have 700. I just don't have it. So I'm like, and then you want a $500 fee, and then you give me maybe 2 retouch photos, maybe. Sometimes for $500 they want to give you one finished thing, and it's like, who can do that? So anyway, you jumped
you have
on.
To put it in the context of what everybody else is earning. Otherwise, like, how does it benefit anyone? How is it healthy or sustainable? It's just not.
It's not. But that doesn't mean I'm not saying photographers' work isn't worth it. And I want any photographer watching this to understand what I'm saying. You all are outstanding. We cannot function without you. But sometimes you got to understand it really does hurt us to have to come up with some of that money. But photographers are artists too, and you all have to live and thrive and survive.
Yeah.
So I get it. So you reached out to me because you're doing something new this time around, in light of what's going on in the world. What today are you offering Black entrepreneurs and business people in Chicago right now?
Sure. So actually part of this offer can go to anybody as long as you can mail stuff to me. But right now I'm offering as many free or pay what you can sessions for Black business owners as possible. That includes if you need headshots or company photos of your staff members. That includes product photos. If you have any items, those can be mailed to me too as well. So it can be a contactless photo shoot. I'll take pictures of your store, or if you have a restaurant, I can come in and take photos of the venue, brand images, anything like that. So that information can all be found on my Instagram page, which is instagram.com/TheRealSlimGracie. There's a link in my bio, and there's a form you can fill out, and we can get started.
Ooh, okay. I'm going to make sure, because right now I have down there free pay what you can photos for Black businesses, and I put the Gracie Meyer. Should I give out another site to people?
My Instagram handle is @TheRealSlimGracie, and that's probably the easiest place to find me. Or my website is graciemeyer.com. Yeah, that's perfect.
I also have that one, the link tree.
Yeah, that'll get you to my website and to the form that you can fill out.
Yes. So look, everybody, please take advantage of this. Pay what you can if you can pay. And she's serious about that. If it's $10, if it's $35, if it's $50, whatever it is. But pay what you can if you can. For those of you all that cannot reach out, she will offer free photos. Now, that doesn't mean those of y'all multimillionaires, because I know a couple of y'all that are out there rolling in the dough, call up my friend just to get some free photos. This is really to help the businesses that have been hurt because of the quarantine. Those of you all that have never even ever had professional photos taken of your products, you better jump on this. And as a matter of fact, I want to make sure you all, so listen, if you have trouble reaching Gracie, which I don't think you will, do me a favor, all of you all, to spread the word of this. I want you to screenshot a nice photo of me and Gracie, share it on your Facebook and Instagram, and make sure you put a note to say that our ally, our accomplice, Gracie, is willing to help Black business owners in Chicago with free or pay what you can photos. But this is for those of y'all that really need it, y'all. Don't take advantage. Let's do it right. But this is big. There are no professional photographers in Chicago offering this. So we must show her love. So y'all get ready, because we got to spread the love. I want to share, make sure people know. Screenshot us right now. You ready? I'll put my drink up, since you're holding your drink too.
Yeah, do like a little cheer.
Yes. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Let's give them one more pose. 1, 2, 3. Okay, guys. Please, everybody in Chicago, screenshot me and Gracie. Put the picture up on your Facebook, your Instagram, You can tag her, but make sure you know. And it's ongoing until she can't do it anymore. Till y'all work her till she just is so tired.
We'll just keep making space for it as much as we can.
Yes. So you reach out to her and you can get free or pay what you can. I decided to pay what I could instead of taking the free option because I did want to show her love. But she's saying, pay what you can, whatever it is, do that. Because we know product photos, and when it comes to entrepreneurs, you're talking about $500 or more for photos. Gracie, what else is going on with you? Because I know you're deeply involved in the theater community in Chicago. So
Well,
how have you been dealing with this?
I've been just kind of cooling. I've just been sitting around. No, it's been really interesting. One of the companies that I work for, we've been doing a lot of digital plays or like plays that exist like on Zoom or with like videos and like really taking advantage of the medium, which has been super cool. We've got some other secret projects that I can't announce in the works, but I'm really excited about planning ahead and planning for the future and like creating new work and work that I think the city will really want to see, and sort of using this time to prep for that so that when it is time to open, we can just like go. So that's gonna be really exciting.
I think this quarantine, artists have been really dealing with a lot of emotions, but some have been in the cut, relaxed, chilling, and writing and creating some new stuff. When we come back to normal, whatever that's going to mean, I think
no more normal. It's going to be all new. It's going to be better.
And I think that we're going to see some amazing creative work coming out of this because of all that's going on. It's really inspiring people to take action. And art is a form of protest. And I think that, people are going to be using this time to really do some good stuff. I'm so happy you came on here to announce this.
I'm so happy you invited me. This is so fun.
And we'll have to come back on and talk about art and music and all those kind of fun things.
Oh, yeah.
Before you go, though, is there anything else you want to say to the artist community, to Black artists, anything? Because honestly, like I said, you're more than an ally. You are an accomplice, and I adore you for that. We need more people like you in the world that are doing their part to make things fair. But anything else you want to say?
Oh, that's very sweet. Well, just thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to just keep working and keep fostering new connections with people in the city and really working to show this new ways that we can imagine community care and like taking care of each other and supporting each other. So hit me up. I'm excited to start working with you. Yeah, that's what I did. Cheers.
All right, guys, y'all heard it from Gracie. Y'all better share those pictures. That was some nice poses we gave y'all. You better share.
That's right.
Share it to your friends, especially all of you all have an entrepreneur right now that's been struggling. And those especially that have had their places looted and things of that nature, they got to build back up. Let's get them some free and pay as you go. Pay what you can prices for their photos. So Gracie, I adore you. Thank you so much. And you're welcome to come back to Nightcap. And let me toast to you for being such an amazing photographer. Listen, because of you, with those new headshots, I booked 2 major gigs. I was put on hold, not check avail, hold for a pilot for one of the main shows in Chicago. I got a big juicy role, and then quarantine happened. So I don't know what you're gonna do, but those photos you took of me, baby,
that's the best news. Thank you.
Yeah, so thank you. So I appreciate it. Okay, I will talk to you again soon, my love.
Right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Good night. Isn't that so nice? Y'all better make sure you reach out. I'll put her info up again at the end of the show, okay? But y'all make sure y'all show love to Gracie because that was too nice. You don't get that kind of love that much in the artist community, especially entrepreneurs. Don't play no game. Don't say I ain't never give y'all nothing. I don't want to hear y'all damn mouths, okay? That's what I just gave you is major. Okay. So let's get it started now. As you all know, my show tonight is having men on back to back, doing quickies with me. Now, usually I'm the type of woman that likes it long and hard, but tonight we doing quickies because quickies are good. Some of the men on the show are single, others are married. So for them, I'm kind of like their cyber side hoe, right? For the married guys. But we're doing quickies tonight. And it's not all about sex. It's dating, relationships, or anything they think that we need to know when it comes to figuring all this madness out. So I've got some really cool guys. And the show is fun tonight. So if y'all got questions, make comments, let me know what you all are feeling and what you're thinking. The show is called Quickie Sex Convos. And my first guest tonight is a really good friend of mine. He's a stand-up comedian. We started off together doing comedy in New York. We were babies in the game. And we've been friends ever since. Now his career in comedy has gone a lot further than mine. He's traveling around the country doing performances. He's writing for major television shows. He is the bomb, and he's one of the coolest guys. He's also an ally and an accomplice as well. You know, I love me a white man that sticks up for black people, baby. And John is one of those people. So just so y'all know, the question I'm asking every guy tonight is, men want women to know that, and then they'll finish it off and they go from there. I have no idea what we're talking about tonight. And usually that's how quickies go. They pop up on you. You don't know when it's going to happen. You just be minding your business, and then all of a sudden it's quickie time. Hey. So yes, let me bring up John for my quickie. What's up, John?
Hey, what's going on? What's going on? I love you. This is so much fun. I'm already having fun. I haven't even been on yet.
That's what quickies do, John. They're quick fun. Wait, so what are you drinking?
I'm lame, man. I'm drinking coffee with a little Irish cream in it. So, it's getting a little... I've already drank most of it, though. I know, I suck. I haven't had any alcohol since this started, and I didn't stock up. There's nothing open by me, so that's it. I had whatever was in the cabinet.
Well, you know what? Drinking coffee, though, that I don't know how quick it'll be. That may not be a quickie, because coffee
It's got berries in it.
Doesn't coffee give you a lot of energy?
Oh, it does. And it's got to hit everything. I like everything to hit pretty fast.
Oh my God. Well, cheers to you and your little call. Okay,
cheers, absolutely.
Okay.
Boom.
So with that being said, John, because you're a comic, I know some of the other people on are having I've got some dating experts and stuff like that, but I wanted a nice mixture of men to tune in. So my question to you, John, men want women to know that.
Men want women, for me anyway, but I think men want women to know that we don't need to talk all the time. I don't think especially in the fucking morning when I'm just waking up. Sometimes I just want to eat a bowl of goddamn cereal in the morning in my underwear and not. First of all, to me, it's like I've been in long relationships and I've been in no relationships, and the big difference there is, when you're in a relationship, it's like she's already started a fucking conversation and you weren't even involved in it. By the time I wake up, I'm like, did she have a dream and then just fucking carry it over? I'm eating cereal with one bloodshot eye open, and she's already, and I'm like, I don't know. I understand something's bothering her, but I just woke up. I can't handle that kind of shit. And I've been single, and I've gotten to eat cereal in peace. So so we don't need to talk all the time. Let it fester, let it sit, let us look at each other, sit in silence.
You know what? This is the trick. I should have known that as soon as I told men, don't tell me what we're going to talk about. Just come on the show and surprise me. That of course the first person would be to get on here and complain about women. I should have known. And listen, you're not going to be the only one. Everyone is going to get on here telling me, well, men want women to know that. We want y'all to shut up. I knew that was going to happen.
But that's not. I'm a big fan of communicating. I think you should communicate in a relationship. I just don't think it needs to be every second of every fucking day. Can I curse on here, by the way? I'm not sure.
We're not network. Have you seen? Obviously, I need to show you some episodes. We perform fellatio on my show. That's why I got banned from Facebook for 4 weeks.
Then hold on.
No, it ain't that kind of quickie tonight, John.
Damn it. Okay. No, but you know what I mean? I'm a big fan of communicating. I like talking, but it's just when you wake up in the morning, you gotta ease into those conversations. Not right away.
And does that make for better results, you think? So are you really giving us the key and the secret to really getting what we want? Is not coming out going, what was the sound effect?
Yeah.
Do those sound
That
So
kind of
that
shit.
was
You know what I
the-
mean? It can't be first thing you fucking hear, because immediately you're just overwhelmed and inundated with sensory, shit. You gotta start off the morning calm and together, and maybe get a little coffee, eat a little bit. Then you can start complaining about shit. That's fine, but not before anybody wakes up.
So now, what do women usually, the girlfriends you've had, just wait, I'm gonna put myself in the background here. Yes, there you go.
Nice.
The women that you're with, typically, what do they complain about the most?
Oh, for what, about me or just in general?
About you.
About me, that I'm on my phone way too much. And if I wasn't using my phone to do this right now, I'd have it in my hand. I'm like an action figure that comes with the phone as an accessory in my hand. They're like, it can't get it out. Yeah, I'm on my phone too much. That's a big complaint. I've had one of my girlfriends take my phone and drop it in my glass of water out of frustration. I swear to God.
So maybe that's the problem. That's why they're, as soon as they wake up, they're going book, 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 book in your ear, because all throughout the day and night you're on the damn phone when you're awake, and the only time they can get you to talk to you, to say, baby, I love you and you're so amazing, John, and you're just so great, they probably want to say that to you, but they can't.
Right.
Your ass is on the phone. Oh,
They can just text me.
Oh,
I'm right there. They got it. Just send it. No, I mean, it is. The phone thing is a problem. I'll admit that 100%. I'm addicted to it 100%. And though, as comedians, though, we get gigs, emails, Facebook messages.
True. Yeah,
it's a very hard thing to balance. And I've had to actually focus on, like, now I'm getting all serious. I'd actually focus on taking the time out to go, okay, now this is no cell phone time.
So when it's time for you to have sex, though, do you have the cell phone in your hand?
Oh, no, absolutely not. That's a good way to get my attention immediately.
So if she wakes you up to sex, then we'll be okay.
Yeah, we'll be fine. That's done. Yeah.
But she
can
can't
keep that going 24/7.
Sound effects. What if those are really like her sex calls? Like chickens and all of them, when they're in heat, they make noises. Maybe you're misinterpreting things, and her maybe that's like, come fuck me.
I'll try it. I'm gonna give that a shot, but if it backfires, I'm blaming you.
Don't blame me. I'm
gonna be like, listen, you see, I think what you're basically telling me is, when they do that, you just put my dick directly in their mouth. That's what I'm hearing.
That's what I said. That is what I said.
Great. I just want to make sure we're clear.
Yeah, there you go. See, if you listen, John, you learn. If you listen, you learn.
I'm getting such good advice.
And everything I'm saying to you right now, if I had a boyfriend, he would hear what I'm saying right now. It's boop, 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 but I'm not. Yeah. I'm saying, dick in my mouth, wake up, dick in my mouth. But because he has issues and has a problem, then he assumes he's always on the defense. You shouldn't be that way, John. I'm ashamed of you.
I think we just broke some ground here. Do you think that's what the parents on the Peanuts cartoons were actually saying? And the kids were like, God, my mother keeps saying dick in her mouth, but I don't know what's going on. Fucking brutal. The dog is like, are you hearing this shit?
You're right. You're like, his parents are fucking freaks. All they talk about is dick in mouth.
Exactly.
That's how we all of them are like, oh, my parents. But their parents are just expressing their love for each other. That's
why Linus can't get rid of the security blanket. He's like,
no, at all.
Yeah.
Poor Linus. If you were a Peanuts kid, who would you be? If you were in the Peanuts.
If I was a Peanuts character, I think I would be Linus. Kind of overthinker, kind of, a little bit of philosopher inside, had a cool, I had a bit of a blanket. I think I had something that I held on to when I was a kid, probably like a teddy bear or some shit.
And
probably for a little too long. I still have it now.
Okay.
But it's right next. I really wish I did have a stuffed animal here, but I don't. But yeah, I think I'd be a Linus. What about you?
See, I'm kind of thinking a mixture between, I don't know, Lucy and Peppermint Patty. The thing is, my parents do think I'm a lesbian, and I think most people suspect that about Peppermint Patty as well. So maybe I'm a little pepperminty.
All right.
But I'm actually not a lesbian. Just my parents think. The only people that think I'm a lesbian are my parents. Lesbians do not. Lesbians instantly smell the desperation and want for dick on me when they come around. Every lesbian is around me is like, damn, girl, you need some dick. Like, what is the problem? But my parents are just waiting for the day for me to bring my special friend home for the holidays. And I don't have a special friend. But anyway, but there's parts of me that's very Charlie Brown. Like, shit just goes wrong. You know?
Yeah.
It's just, what was Charlie Brown's little dog's name?
Snoopy. I like Snoopy. I'm a bit of a Snoopy too.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe there's a bit of me that's Snoopy. I'm pretty much all the characters. What's the black one that dances? Who did the
Franklin?
Dance? Franklin. In that world, I'd be Franklin. I'm always the token black friend for a lot of white people. So I think I'd be Franklin.
Dude, when I was a kid, I learned so much from those cartoons about civil rights and shit. I know that sounds weird, but when I was a little kid, those are the only ones that were playing it. It was they would always do these because the 90s had this rule in cartoons suddenly had to be educational. If they were going to run for a certain amount of time, they had to teach something. And Franklin was one of the characters or whatever, so they would teach kids. I remember being 5 and like it blowing my fucking mind that they were using the character in that way.
Yeah, I love Franklin. I don't think he got the shine that he deserves.
No.
But now, since we're in a world that is doing more to give people of color and black folks a seat at the table and be more inclusive, if they re-release new Peanuts gang shit, I'm pretty sure the shit is going to turn from Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown to What's Up, Franklin? It's going to be about Franklin.
We should write that. That'd be hilarious.
Your shit is getting real out here. And Franklin is like, fuck y'all. I'm not taking this shit no more. I want to sit at the table. I've been in here playing the background, and it's time for a black man to get his shine. Franklin is probably tearing shit up in Peanuts world. Yeah. I'm telling you.
It's like Linus walks on stage to do that fucking speech again at the end, telling what Christmas is all about. And Franklin's like, shut the fuck up. Let me tell you about Jesus.
Let me tell your ass what Christmas
First of all.
God damn it. Oh my God.
A white guy.
Yeah, typical white guy. So, wow. I'm so happy you came on to have a quickie with me. We'll have to have you come back on and talk more. But the bottom line is that you think women need to know men don't want to just instantly wake up out of bed and just start talking.
Yeah, not in the morning. No, not in the morning, man. You got to ease into I know you got a lot on your minds, but we don't.
Right. Men never have anything. So when's the best time though? If I really want something from my man, I want to get a point across. When is the best time to do it?
Probably when you're on top. Hey, no, I'm just kidding. No, anytime they've been I'll use my point of it. If I'm eaten and I've already kind of woken up, anytime after that's fine. I'll talk about anything. But it's just a morning thing for me anyway. I can't handle fucking too much shit in the morning. So
ladies, we gotta and same gender loving couples as well. I'm sure there's 2 gay guys together.
Sure.
Is calling his friend like, oh my God, he just keeps fucking talking. Let your man wake up nicely. Let him, get his bearings in the world, and then later in the day, bust out on his ass and say what the fuck you want to say.
Yeah, and because to be honest, you're already you fell asleep worrying about stuff, thinking about stuff, and then you wake up thinking about the same shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we don't. So there's no it's like when your computer refreshes and it makes that bong sound. That's dudes how we wake up. We don't think about anything. It's a new day. Everything we thought about the night before is gone.
So you're reprogrammed. Like you basically go to sleep and it's like plugging in a cell phone and turning it off, and then you charge, and then when you get up in the morning, you're on a whole different thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys are like a movie you paused the night before and then it starts back off in the same fucking spot. Doesn't miss a beat. Yeah.
If I have something to say, I'm gonna say it. So you can try that whole if we just go to sleep, she'll forget about it all. And then tomorrow we'll wake up and we won't talk about it. Nope, not me. As soon as the time is right. Now, I do know not to bother my man first thing in the morning. I don't do that.
That's what I'm saying.
But if you've really fucked up that bad the day before, maybe. So I'm just wondering what you're doing to these women that make them their sleep. And then they wake up and like, and John, another thing.
No, I'm not even saying like a fight. I'm saying like just genuine whatever's on their mind. Because like most people complain and they don't have any solution. They just want to get it out. But the thing is I absorb all that shit. So like if you're complaining to me, men I think automatically try to fix whatever it is. So then it's like you guys just want to get it off your chest. But if it's at like 9 a.m. and you got fucking shit to say, that's how we we internalize that shit. And you're done. You get everything out and then you go shower and fucking do whatever you got to do. And then we're just sitting there with this shit right here that we can't help or fix. And it's like, God, fuck, what the fuck is wrong with me today? Can't stand it. My chest is tightening.
It's blame it all.
And then it's fine.
Blame it all on the woman, John. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, since this is the quickie, our time is up. I so enjoyed my quickie with you. You're the best quickie so far that I've had tonight. You're the first, but so far you've been the best. Can you do me a favor and make your final plea to women to explain to us what exactly you want from us? And
yes, just please, whatever you do first thing in the morning, don't start off complaining or whatever's worrying you. Let it just gestate a little bit. Let us ease into the day, have some coffee, breakfast. How are you? How am I? Blah, blah, blah. Then around like 1, then you can start bitching.
You know what?
I'm so sorry. I feel like that's not entirely me at all, but it's all right.
I should have known.
Comedian thing, I think. Because also, we don't wake up at 9, right? That's a fabrication. There's no 9 a.m. for me.
Well, that's true. So that has a lot to do with it as well. You're a night you are a comic and you're a night person. So
I go to bed at 5 a.m.
I get it. Lord. Yeah. Well, John, I love you. Thank you so much for coming.
I love you too.
You gotta come on very soon. Come back so we can talk more about everything. Comedy, the world, just everything.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay. I love you, John. I'll see you later. And you all make sure you go to John's website, johnpoveromo.net. We're quarantined right now, so John is not out in the world performing, but definitely you go there, sign up for his email list. You can find out where he's performing all around. Do you come to Chicago often? Have you been here in a while? Like at Zany's?
I haven't been here in a while, but I used to perform at the Laugh Factory all the time, but I haven't been out there in a couple of years. Oh, but I have a short film on Amazon Prime called Dup It, if anybody wants to watch it. Duppet.
Okay.
Written by me, and I'm in it. Oh, great. Thanks.
Yeah, of course. All right, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all check John out. And John, I adore you, friend. And thank you. You're one of the first friends I ever met in comedy. And you were just as supportive then as you are now. We've been through a lot of shit in this business. And it's just good to see that you're still standing and hitting the stages hard and doing the things you're doing. I'm very proud of you.
You too, Erica. Thank you. I love you so much. Thank you so much for having me on.
Yay. Thank you. All right. I'll see you later.
See you later. Bye.
And you know what? Did my computer freeze? I'm telling you.
Am I still on?
You still on. You know what?
Wait, do you want me? I can leave. I'll leave.
Yeah, you leave because my computer is frozen.
I'm getting at it.
That's a damn shame. Technical difficulties, guys. Y'all still there? Okay. I'm gonna bring up my next guest, and I hope we won't have any more technical difficulties going on tonight. You know, y'all, technology. What can you do? What can you do? Okay. I want to read a little bit of the bio of my next guest, J.L. Kirkwood. He's a New York Times and national best-selling author with more than 15 years of experience as a career and relationship coach and a master's in marriage and family therapy and counseling. So we know JL is about to come on here and really tell us what's on men's mind. I'm very excited about this. Welcome, JL. Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
What's going on? How are you?
I'm good. How are you? It's good to see you, my friend.
I'm good. So nice to meet you. JL, wait, what you drinking?
This is I got a Bud Light with a splash of Ciroc in it.
Oh, you so bougie. Okay. I'm drinking a concoction. I don't know what it is, but this great company in Chicago sent it to me. Creative Click cocktail. So I'm drinking it up, but I don't know what it is, but it tastes good.
That's
yeah.
what.
So before we get started, tell me a little bit about yourself. This is your first time on the show. This is our first time meeting, but I read all about you and I was like, I gotta get him on the show. So tell me a bit about what you do.
Yeah, so as a marriage therapist, and right now I'm doing a lot of things with TV, a lot of things with radio. So I'm taking a hiatus as a marriage therapist when I do things. But yeah, I mean that's really what I do. I mean I've coached hundreds of thousands of people from around the country, and just relationships, just how to navigate relationships and marriages.
Wow. And I mean, honestly,
I got to echo real quick. So I know it might sound a little delayed. That's because I'm talking over myself. So I'm just trying
okay. Oh, you might. Well, sometimes they say put if you have some earplugs, you can put them in.
Okay.
If you have some, if not, don't worry, we'll make it through it.
Right.
I could imagine right now during this quarantine that it's people that have been stuck in the house together for months, and they are really finding out who each other is. Oh, yeah. Have you seen an upswing in marriage counseling and people reaching out like, JL, help me, save us? Things are about to going bad over here, or have things been cool?
No. I mean, everything's being thrown. Shoes are being thrown. I mean, it's just like words are being thrown. I mean, kids are being thrown. I mean, it's just like it's crazy. It's bananas right now. So it's an uptick in that going on out here.
It's scary, but because I'm like, I don't want marriages and relationships to end, but I could imagine people are just going through a lot of drama right now because these are hard times. We got the police stuff going on and the virus. It's a lot. So I'm like, for those of y'all out there that are married, because you're married, aren't you, JL?
Yeah.
You're married. So for y'all married folks, usually they say single people are, at first, when the quarantine first happened, everybody was like, oh, you don't have a quarantine, babe? You don't have anybody? And I was like, nope. But watch, 3 months from now, you ain't gonna have nobody either, because y'all gonna end up getting a divorce. So don't hate on me. But so and I say that being funny, but I'm happy I've been single all this time. So with that being said, the question of tonight that I'm asking you and my other Quickie partners tonight is, men want women to know that
love is a business. But you can't expect full-time benefits when you treat it like a part-time job. Yeah, take another swig of that.
Look, that hit me so hard. I'm about to drink my ghetto water. Wait a minute.
Need a chaser. Yeah.
Gosh. But okay, so explain. I'll let you do the talking. This is your show. So explain more about that.
Look, when I talk about it, I say a lot of times we need to approach these relationships the same way we would approach some things that we do in business. A lot of times people don't really see that direct correlation. And the way I treat people outside in my business is a lot of times the way I might treat things inside my relationship. Like, for example, let's talk about, I just, right before I got on with you, I had to wrap up with one of my good friends because I'm coaching her right now. I say, hey, I gotta go. And what I was telling her, I ended it with this. I'm gonna call her back after I get off with you. I said, you know what you're doing? You're milking the clock in a relationship. I say, think about it like that. You know, if you was at a job and you sit there, and you know, it's been times where people who are working the corporate life, they sit there and sometimes you might just be milking a clock. You're getting a paycheck, but you're not doing much more than, you know, just kind of sitting there and collecting a check. I say, that's what you're doing in your relationship right now. You're milking the clock. You know, and basically you're just being there just to kind of waste time, waiting for something better to come along. I mean, these are some of the things. When I say love is a business, you got to kind of approach it from that mindset, from a business standpoint, and that's how you treat your relationship.
Wow. So let me say, wow. What you're saying, though, makes perfect sense. And I think so many people don't go in it. Some people seem to put more stock in finding a job seriously than they do their life partner. With the job, you want certain, you know, you want it to the commute to be a certain thing, you know, you want the pay to be a certain thing. We take our time, and we like, if it's a job we know we don't want and don't want to be bothered with, we don't even apply for it. But in these relationships, it's like people are just treating what is supposed to be a long-term profession with full-on invested pension and benefits, and they treat it like a damn summer job or a temp position.
Exactly.
And, you know what I mean? It's like, damn. So JL, I'm single.
Mm-hmm.
So then what am I to do? It just seems like, even if I'm out here thinking of this as a true investment, a lot of the men that are out here, they really just want temporary employees.
Right.
But matter of fact, some of these motherfuckers want interns. Some of these dudes are full on like, hey, you're going to come to work every day. I'm going to teach you the game, but I ain't going to pay you. You're going to get some school credit. Like,
No, but this is the thing, though. That's okay. Look,
okay.
If you know what you're getting yourself into, that's okay. You know what I mean? Like, when we approach it from a business, there are times when people are looking for temporary work, right?
Yes.
There's times when people are looking for part-time, looking for full-time. But here's the thing. People sometimes are looking for careers versus a job. And that's the difference, because a lot of times a job is just temporary. It's a layover. It's just, hey, I want to kind of get something right now to, you know, I graduated with this degree and get something else. A career is something that you look at full-time. Like, I want to invest in this here. I want to be there. I want to put my foot into this. This is going to be my career. You know what I mean? I'm looking at making a legacy out of this. That's the difference. Look, let me tell you. So one of the biggest things is people who don't know where they're going. And this is what I talk about with direction, to add on to what you're saying. And let me ask you this, Erica. Has anyone ever driven their car next to you, up next to you, and said, excuse me, ma'am, can you tell me how to get to somewhere? Pick a place. Can you tell me how to get to the nearest gas station? Has that ever happened to you before?
Absolutely.
Now, has there ever been a time when they asked you and you knew how to direct them? You say, yeah, you know what? Go down there on Chicago Ave, make a right. You're going to see a BP gas station right down the corner. Right?
Yes, absolutely.
Now, if somebody came up to you and asked you, excuse me, ma'am, can you tell me how to get to anywhere? What would you say?
You didn't tell me where you want to go.
Shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, if the famous quote goes, if you don't know where you're going, then any direction to get you there. So that's what it comes down to. So it's like, the thing is, if you know where you're going, then you start to attract things that's going to get you to where you got to go. People you walk up to, they can actually help you with that. But if you walk up to people and say, I don't know how to get to anywhere, nobody's going to be able to help you. You can't help yourself. Take a swig.
I think about so many times in my life where I did not know where I was going. And then went on a journey and mad because it didn't lead anywhere. But I didn't even know where I wanted to go in the first place. And you are so right. That's so important that we all of us need to understand where we're going, where we want to end up, so that we don't jump in the car going in the opposite direction, you know?
Right.
But it's hard because sometimes the car's so nice and it feels good. Sometimes you just want to go on a ride, JL.
That's right.
Ride a car. Can't I just ride in the car and not worry about where it's going?
That's right. Long as you know. But that's the thing. You got to know. If you know that that's what the journey is, you know that's what you're setting out to do, then you're okay with that. The problem is when you out there driving and you get lost and your GPS just went out and you just like, where the fuck am I at?
Where the fuck am I at?
Yeah, and then you got to turn around. Now you're too far out your way. So far out your way, and now you still got to turn back around and go 45 minutes just to get back on course to where you was going in the first place.
So then let me say then, isn't it to the responsibility of the person to say, look, I don't know where you want to go, but I know where I'm going. And I'm like, sometimes people offer you a ride and make you think they go into your direction, but they already knew all along, I ain't going over there. I'm just going to ride around.
No. I think
what you say about that at JL, and not speaking figuratively, I'm gonna speak literally. A lot of these dudes out here already know that not only do they not plan on going to your destination, it's 3 or 4 motherfuckers about to get in the car too to go on the ride.
You in the Uber shit. You got the young group Uber going on right there.
We doing a ride share.
Right?
I'm doing a Uber pool. And here you go. We driving and going, and all of a sudden, it's like he going to a new destination, or I got to pick somebody else up. Like, I didn't order this kind of car. What the hell is going on?
Right.
So what do you say, though, to JL, to the men out here, how much of it is their responsibility? And I'm not saying it doesn't happen to men, too, because I do have some boys that have been through heartbreak because they jumped in the car that wasn't going in their direction. So how much shouldn't people just stop playing games?
I think that a lot of times where people go wrong is they think that people haven't said stuff. A lot of times people recapture and play things in their mind at the end. It's almost like watching a movie, and then we was just watching, what movie was that? But it was a movie. The crazy thing about movies, my wife is really good at the details on movies. I'm not. So, which means like she's the one that by the time it gets to the end of the movie, she's pieced all this shit together. She's like, oh, I saw that shit in the beginning. It was because he did that and he did that and he did this and he did that. Those are the same red flags that people see going through these relationships. They see that shit. Then sometimes you will have somebody that'll come up to you and they'll say, you know, what are you looking for? What are you trying to do? And they'll say, I'm not looking for anything serious. Well, that's your chance to build right there, or know that this is the game I'm going to play, right? But if you start to engage in that, and then you start to catch feelings, and then you start to feel like, oh man, well, he introduced me to his brother, and maybe he did. Like, nah, fuck that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He said that from the beginning. He's not going to change that. But this is what I'm saying, Erica. There is a difference. A word I want us to eliminate out of our vocabulary. The word standards.
Wow.
Explain. I want to eradicate it. I want us instead to replace that with the word expectations.
Okay.
But standards don't really talk toward the future. Standards talk toward the past. So you only know what you've experienced. So you just want somebody to meet what bullshit you've experienced in the past. It don't got shit to do with the future. So when I talk about expectations, it's like this here. It's like standards change all the time on the whim. You know what I'm saying? When Steve Jobs came out with the iPhone in 2007, he changed the fucking game. He changed the standard. He raised the bar over. You know what I mean? So when I talk about the difference between standards and expectations, it goes like this here. If somebody had a standard about something, like I give you an example. My wife and I, we went to one of our best friends' wedding. He got married last year, in Mexico. But what was the name of the city? It was the name of the resort was like the Moose Eye. So it's this part of Mexico we hadn't been to. We'd been to Acapulco, been to Cancun, whatever like that. Anyway, and the last time we was actually at a resort, he was there too. And the crazy thing about it is we had a certain idea, standard, if you will, of what a resort would be, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when we got to this resort, Erica, this resort was like the most amazing next level shit you didn't even know existed on the planet somewhere around the corner. You know what I mean? It was like,
Wow.
it was that amazing that it changed our standard just like that.
Wow.
Like that. But let me tell you what didn't change. My expectations didn't change. So whether I was at a 1-star resort or a 10-star resort, I still expected good customer service. I still expected a clean room.
Yes.
I still expected, you know what I mean? Like my expectations didn't change from across the board, but my standards did. You know what I mean? So eliminate the word standards, because expectations is going to be across the board. You expect people to respect you, right?
Yeah.
We expect that from, it don't matter who I'm dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Expect is required. You know what I mean? So this ain't about standards. This is about expectations, and we got to force people to raise that level. And once we start to do that, then you don't have to worry about, because I hate when people say, I'm looking for a good brother, I'm looking for a good sister. I hosted an event right before the pandemic happened, and I had literally, I'm in a room with beautiful Black women and brothers, beautiful, and I'm in a room with people raising their hand like, yeah, well, JL, I'm looking for a good brother, I'm looking for a good sister. I say, well, look, I say, everybody who thinks they're a good woman for the next man, raise your hand. 100% of the women raise their hand. I say, watch this. All the men in here who think they're a good brother for a good woman, raise your hand. Everybody raise their hand.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So everybody feel like they're a good brother or a good sister for that right person. You see what I'm saying? That's why we have to eliminate the word standards, because that's the past. I don't want my standards to match up to the bullshit, because if that was the standard, they'll still be here. Right.
JL, you said a word. Wait, somebody just said you are on time with this message. Let me put the quote up. You know what? I never thought about it that way. And you are absolutely right. The expectations, no matter what, should never change.
Mm-hmm.
You should know what you want and what you expect out of a relationship before you even get out here and start maneuvering and doing anything.
That's
so that's
right.
what I'm gonna start because I am one of those people that be like, I got high standards. I got standards. These motherfuckers don't want me to have standards. But you are right. Let me just start expecting kindness, goodness, honesty, strength, love. Let me expect it, and it'll come my way.
That's right.
Thank you, JL. Somebody else said speak on it. They said you are really saying some powerful things. And I agree. So this is what we're gonna do then. Since you got probably so many fine friends, I'm gonna come where y'all are. You gonna throw a party, JL, and I'm coming, and I'm gonna walk around and tell everybody what my expectations are. And the next wedding you and your wife gonna go to is gonna be me at an amazing resort.
That's it.
One of your friends. Thank you. All your friends that like big girls in one room and invite me, and we go talk about my expectations.
That's what's up. I received that message.
Thank you. So before you go, I'm so happy. Of course, I called them Quickie as a play on words, but I wanted to have these quick, powerful powwows with some awesome men, and I thank you so much for coming on. Before you go, because I got to move on to my next Quickie. I'm a busy woman tonight. Is there anything else that you want to say before you get out of here?
I don't. I just want to say everybody could pick up the book, Love is a Business. This information I'm receiving, I'm giving right there. That is the information that's inside of that book. You can visit me at jlkirkwood.com. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and all of my media handles to kind of see what I'm doing when I'm touring next time and all that good stuff. Absolutely.
And please, JL, I want you to come back on in July when you have time, so we can talk a lot more about your book and the other things that you're doing. Because I really, my audience, I'm finding they really love the dating and relationships and sex stuff. And I think that, it's really good to hear from people like you that are very progressive with your way of thinking, that aren't spewing out the same old thing. And also, what I love about you is that you didn't come on here telling women all the stuff they're doing wrong. Because a lot of people, that's the standpoint they're coming from. And no problem with that. But even if you're going to tell me what women are doing wrong, tell me something new, not the same old thing that's being spewed out by everybody. So love is a business, y'all. JL said it. So let's get to work and start some and be CEOs of some Fortune 500 love and not this bullshit.
That's right.
A lot of us are in love and their side hustles. I'm ready to be the CEO of a love company. There you go.
Talk about it.
So let me go. Cheers to you, JL.
All right.
So cool. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Tell your wife she did good. You did good, girl. JL, there you go, girl. I love it. Thank you, JL. I hope to have you on soon. Okay.
Right, baby. Talk to you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Woo! There we go. Okay. These quickies, I'm tired already. And we got a little bit of a late start. So I'm gonna bring up my next person, Robert. Are y'all having a good time? If you all have questions, because Robert is a king in the game. He's been doing this work for so long that if you all have some questions, please feel free to put them in the comments so we can ask him some questions. Robert Candale is known as the modern mentor. Man is capitalized, mentor. He's an interpersonal communications and relationships expert. He's the speaker, podcaster, and author. He is the host of a podcast called Tough Love, Your Pragmatic Guide to Relationships, Sex, and Purpose in the 21st Century, and author of an Amazon #1 bestseller, Unhidden, a book for men and those confused by them. That means for me, because I'm so goddamn confused by men. Let's bring up the mentor, Robert. Hi, Robert.
Hello, Erica. Absolute pleasure. You are hilarious.
How
and JL rocked, totally rocked.
He totally rocked, yes. Yeah. And you rock. So I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you.
I've been reading a lot about you. When I put out the call that I wanted to talk to some men that are experts in relationships, so many people tagged me about you. You are the king. You are the guru.
Thank you.
Before we get started, I just want to know, how did you even get started in this field?
I made a total fool of myself at the age of 29.
You did what?
I made a total fool of myself at the age of 29.
Wow.
Yeah.
How?
I was taking a workshop with my first wife, Carol. I was so new. It was, 20 plus years ago. And I did my introduction that I thought was so clever and smart. And instead, the teacher said, "Hey, do you know your wife's crying?" And she was sitting right here, right next to me. And I was so misogynistic and so chauvinist and so numb that I had no idea the impact of my words. And then the teacher said the worst thing possible. He said, "Who's next?" And I had two choices. I could, run back to my man cave. But what I did is I stayed, I sat in the burn of it. And that was the doorway to this really incredible life.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, I guess, with most things, sometimes it's the mistakes or the times when we make a fool of ourselves where we learn the biggest lesson. So thank God for those foolish moments. And I'm sure you feel the same way, because then that foolish moment led to this amazing career that you have. And you're really out here saving relationships and helping people.
Thank you. Yeah, we're moved by inspiration or desperation. And that was certainly a desperation moment. So I'm very happy that it happened. And it's been a great career. I've been thrilled.
Awesome. Well, as you know, tonight I'm having quickies with all you men. And like I said to the audience before, some of you all are single and some of you all are married. Those of you all that are married are, I'm basically your side chick for the next 15 minutes. Perfect. So for our quickie, so what is it that men want women to know that?
Well, the main thing I've learned in my work is that it's the toughest time in history to be a man. And most women don't know that, and men know that to some degree. And so for women just to know, we're not going to show it, we're not going to admit it because we're egoic and we want to protect our egos, but it is the toughest time to be a man in history. The patriarchy has been around for 6,000 years. All the scripts that were handed down to us from our grandfathers and great-grandfathers of no lurking working, Me Too, blew up everything. And so even though we're acting like everything is the same, really what's happening is that we're a mess and relationships are a mess, and don't buy the cover story.
Wow. And what do you say is ultimately the cover story that's put out there about men, especially when it comes to intimacy and relationships? What's the storyline that we've been told that isn't really true about men?
Yeah, there's two things I think that come up when you ask that question. The first is that we have it all handled. We act like we have it handled. We act like we're cool. We're not. We're quivering. We're afraid. We're just not showing it. And the way a woman shows her emotions, I'm generalizing, of course, but a way a woman shows her emotions is very different from a man. Men are not given permission to show their fear. They're not shown permission to show that they don't know. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that men love to love. We're like big Saint Bernards with big tongues and big paws, and we just love to love, and we're not taught the skills from childbirth to love the way we want to love. And so we fake it till we make it. We do a lot of things wrong. And so when a woman knows that a lot of things we do that annoys the shit out of her, it's mostly us trying to love but not really knowing how to do it.
Wow. And when I think about it, from a very early age, girls are taught about nurturing. Mm-hmm. We're bought baby dolls. We have our baby that we carry around and take care of. We change diapers. We mirror exactly everything we see mommy doing. And we're taught this whole nurturing business. Although I think maybe you could tell me whether or not it truly is innate. Maybe women are born with a bit more of those nurturing and loving qualities. No. But some of this stuff we're prepped for by the way we're reared. And then the opposite is boys are not giving a child to take care of. They're given a G.I. Joe or a sword or a gun, things that are very actionable. Ours are called dolls. Theirs are called action figures. Mm-hmm. So it's about action and putting in the work. So then that makes perfect sense. Then when these two people meet later on in life, after all that, she's ready to get babies and nurture babies, and he's ready to go with the gun and be the protector. Mm-hmm. How much of that is really from the way we've been conditioned, by the way we're raised by parents, and can we change those things?
Well, it's 100% true. It's not a biological thing. It's a cultural thing, because there's studies that have shown that young males, boys, or that identify as male, are actually more emotional than girls to a slightly higher degree. But the emotional response, the permission to emote, the permission, and you can see it in the language, don't be a pussy, don't be a baby, all these things to separate boys from possibly being feminine is shoved into us. And so it's really beaten, sometimes literally out of us, to not show emotion, to be tough. And so what happens? We shove it into these little boxes, we seal the boxes up, and it comes out in the weirdest times, when sports teams lose or when we're inebriated or other aspects. It's just because we don't have permission to develop and work in what's called our EQ, our emotional intelligence.
Wow. It's, when you think about it, it's kind of sad though. But I will say there are men that I have experienced in life that have learned this or are aware of this. So the opposite is like they've learned the art of manipulation by being overly sensitive on purpose. And, that first time he cries in front of you to show that he's sensitive, or he does all that stuff. Sometimes there are men that play into that because they know we're not seeing that vulnerability from most men. So then they use that to draw you in. I'm not saying all, but there are some tricksters, some manipulators out there that are like, I know that if I cry, I'll get in the panties a little sooner. So how do we know when a man is truly being genuine with his sensitivity and is tapped into that inner core of being full of emotion, and when we got a dog on our hands that's playing games? How do we know?
Well, you have to trust your body and you have to trust your intuition. So when a communication lands, and communication is made up of three parts. There's the words, there's the intonation, the tonality of my voice, and then there's the intention behind it. Wow. So when all three match up, then a communication has a higher chance of landing, and then the person feels. But if you have like someone crying and the intention's not to really cry and just be a faker, then you as the receiver have what's called cognitive dissonance. You can tell something's a bit askew. When something's a bit askew, then it's on you, the receiver, and this is what women don't do, to say, hey, that didn't quite feel right. So women have co-created the mess of relationships, right? It's when they don't speak their truth, when the guy touches them the way they want to, or says something the way they want to, they just like, oh, it's not a big deal. Some other woman will handle it. And then what happens is men keep doing their bad habits. So if someone says something to you that doesn't feel right, you can, in a kind way, say, hey, when you said that, it didn't quite land for me. Can you do that again? Or is there something else going on? Give him the opportunity to lower his mask, his facade, and actually be real. Because most relationships based on this facade meeting a facade, not authenticity meeting authenticity.
Wow. It's so deep. So it is also, women have to feel empowered enough to speak their truth as well. Because I recently had a sexpert on the show, a woman who we were talking about sex and what are you drinking, Robert? I forgot to ask you.
Just water. Just water.
You're
alcohol and me don't get along so well.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm on a hallucinogenic side.
That is fine.
Water, just water.
Yes, I tell whatever your nightcap is, drink it. It's fine. So I had a sexpert on, and we were talking about orgasms, and I had given my little secret away that I've never really had one with a guy before from sex. And she was like, "So do you fake it?" And I was like, "Yeah, girl, I faked it many times." And she kind of chastised me. She's like, "Do you understand what you're doing every time you fake an orgasm?" And then. Then he learns those behaviors, and every woman that comes after you has to deal with that same choreography, so to
100%.
speak. And then when the final girl that finally says, "Wait a minute, this isn't working. That isn't right for me. Change it up." He's like, "Well, it worked for Erica, and it worked for Sarah, and it worked for everybody else." So I think the same when it comes to just relationships in general and intimacy. We've got to start speaking our truths. I'm guilty of it where I don't want to tell him. I'm afraid to hurt his feelings. I don't want to shatter his ego.
Right.
But you're saying that it is our responsibility to really speak of what's on our mind and say how we feel, and that this touch doesn't feel right, or what you said doesn't feel right. How can a woman be empowered to know to do that?
Well, first and foremost, you have to decide if you want a mediocre relationship, which most relationships are, or you want to have a masterful, optimized relationship. If you want to have an optimized, masterful relationship, then both people have to make the commitment to speak the truth and hear the truth. And that's what I have with my wife. And it sucks sometimes. I don't want to sugarcoat this. It's painful. It's ego-destructing. It hurts. It's annoying. But I'm always grateful afterwards. And so what you do when you enter in a relationship is you start to A, ask for the truth, and B, don't punish your partner when they tell you the truth. That's what a lot of people do, especially men. They get moody, they get, ego-based, and they get, and women are just like, fuck it, he can't handle the truth. I'm going to keep withholding from him. And so both partners have to make the commitment, the continuing commitment to create a container, a safe container where the truth is spoken and rewarded. Without that, you just have mediocrity by definition.
It's so much to think about when it comes to these relationships. It's like, and you say it with such like confidence and authority and with ease. And those of us though that are in these relationships, I'm sure you know this, Robert, like we're all over the place. We're second guessing ourselves. Right. And it's like, I think like JL said right before, this is so great the way you all are coming right after each other. Because his whole thing about knowing what the destination is and where you want to go and only getting in the car that's going on the ride in that way. And then you're saying once you're on the ride, if things don't feel right, don't sound right, aren't what you want, you have to speak your truth. And so many of us just don't do it and can't do it. I will say, I know for a lot of my friends, since the media is always telling us, oh, men are hard to come by. Most men are no good. It's if you get one, you better do whatever you can to keep it. And so many of relation experts that are men tend to focus on telling the women everything is wrong with you all, and men aren't shit either. So basically, this is what you got to do to deal with the crap you're being served. And what you've just said is empowering women to say it doesn't matter. You have a choice, and you got to say when something isn't right. But that's hard, Robert, because just like he's so fine.
I know.
And
I'm sorry.
So good.
I'm so sorry.
And he got money, and oh my goodness.
Yeah, but then you're just
I really feel.
You're just accepting the crumbs off the table. I mean, really. And how long's a good sex and money? I mean, really, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, until you start to get that itch of just like, I want something more. And you start looking around, you start telling more lies, and that's where we get trapped. And we trap ourselves. We're like, we go into the prison, we have the key in our paw, and we're stuck in our own prisons of our own lies and deception. And it's really hard. Like my wife and I do not have a live forever or be together until we die pact. It does not exist. And in fact, it's every single day there's a commitment to it. And it's like, we're here to serve each other until it's done. And then that might be the rest of our lives. It might be next week. But because we do so much work on ourselves, and self-esteem is built upon esteemable acts, because we work so much on our own self-love, then the relationship becomes the gravy. It becomes the extra. It's the ice cream on top of the apple crumble, right? It's the extra. Rather than I depend on you for my life and my validation and you telling me I'm a good man, we work on ourselves first and foremost and then bring it to the relationship. And that's what makes a masterful relationship.
Wow. Let me ask you, that was beautiful. The understanding that the relationship is the icing on the cake of life.
Yep.
So for so many of us though, Robert, I feel they want the relationship to be the cake and the icing and the meal, really. They want, for me, I'm single. I'm actually happy. I'm holding out because I've had two really bad relationships. So now that I'm setting expectations and knowing exactly what I want and working on me, building my self-esteem, getting my career where I want it to be, it's all about Erica right now. I think that I'm going to be a better woman for an amazing man. Right. But I do know a lot of my friends, they are lonely. They want a man so bad, Robert. They will put up with anything to have one. Like bullshit stuff that would probably you as a man would be like, he got away with what?
Well, they want to hit like it's crack cocaine or something. They instead of like going and having the greens and the kale and the smoothies and going to the gym, we want the sugar high. And the sugar highs are great, but if you have them your entire life, then that's what you're living in. And women, it's a time for women to stop bullshitting and start telling the truth. This is my bottom line of what I need in a relationship. If you don't want it, I would rather be alone, and really mean it. That's the hardest part. And for men to do the same thing. It's like women have let men get away with so much bullshit for so many centuries and so many generations. That's why I say women have co-created it. Now, there are times, of course, where women are in detrimental, situations. I don't want to equate this as a universal, but most of the time, women just let men get away with everything. And now, with the rise of women, with the changes in social stratus where women can get credit cards, start business in the top 500, they can go in and have their own stock markets. They no longer need a man. Can they evolve into wanting a man and then setting the standards for men to step into? Because I tell you, that's what men really enjoy. Even though we whine and complain, we like the challenge. We like the opportunity. So women, continue to rise and raise your bar so men can get better and better. And that's where the masterful relationships happen.
So with that being said, you started off saying that women need to know that men do want love, they love love, and that we have to understand that in many ways it's the way that they're conditioned that keeps that from happening maybe as quickly as we would like, but that it will evolve over time. So should our goal be to make sure that we get in a relationship with men, especially those of us that are 30 and up or 35 and up, 40 and up that are really ready to settle down, should the focus be to make sure we don't get involved seriously with a man that hasn't already evolved emotionally, so that he's coming to the table with that figured out? Or is it okay to be with him while he's going through this process? What
Absolutely.
do you say?
I mean, I think just to leverage what JL said, know what kind of agreements you're getting into, what kind of car you want to get into. I was a fixer-upper. My first wife saw this nice guy, sweet guy, numb and dumb. I was numb and dumb. And she saw the investment in that. And we spent, 9 years together, really, freed each other on a lot of levels. But she was willing to invest in a fixer-upper. Nerds and geeks are really great because we're so curious about things. The point is, yes, but just be clear of your motivations. Are you getting this relationship to fix a hurt? Are you in this relationship because you're bored? Are you in this relationship because you want to prove something to your mother? Like, look at what your motivations are, get clear and clean and electric with your motivations, and then manifest the guy to take your life to the next level. Let him be a partner in your expansion. And sometimes that includes having a fixer-upper.
And you know what? I don't mind a fixer-upper. My problem is, Robert, in the past, I didn't just get a fixer-upper. I was getting some dudes that were needed to be gutted rehab. I mean,
Did you know that going in?
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Well, you are right.
Yeah.
Had I sat back
Yeah.
and not jumped so quickly, it was all there.
Yeah.
So you're right.
Yeah.
I knew. But I was like, oh, I can love him through his pain.
Yeah.
And it's like, girl, you would have to get him down to the framework and gut everything out, take it all out, and put in a whole new everything. So a fixer-upper is that beautiful home you see, but there's a couple things like, I just got to paint these walls, got to do a couple of things, it'll be okay.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be taking on full-on gut rehab reconstruction projects. It's
right.
Not, yeah. And you're right. If I just would have taken some time and not been so enamored about the beauty of the home.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, here's another thing. As human beings, we want the wealth of experiences. We want all the highs. We want the Cineplex of movies. We want the drama. We want the horror show. We want the adventure. We want the documentary. We want all these experiences. And so you could.
You went away for a minute. Oh, bring your mic back. I don't know if you can hear me. Okay, there it is. Can you hear me, Robert? Technical difficulties, y'all. Don't worry. It says your mic is muted, Robert. What's what I'm going to do? I'm going to take you out and bring you back. Okay. You there? I can't hear you, Robert. No. He was getting good. He was getting good. Let's see. Robert? You there, Robert? Is it working, Robert?
Hello, hello.
Okay, yes, there you are. It says you have to unmute yourself, Robert. Okay, yes, there you go.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No problem.
Yeah. So we want the wealth of experiences. So you wanted the experience of a complete fixer-upper, so you never need to have that again. How rich, how smart. Your master wanted the whole ride, and now you know what you want. You've built your self-esteem around it, and you have it. Like, have the exact man that you want. You deserve it.
Wow. Thank you, Robert. Before you go, is there anything else you want us to know? I definitely need a whole show with you. Like you are awesome. And I think someone just said they love the analogy of the fixer-upper, what you said. And then someone else said, rise and raise your bar. They quoted you. Yeah. You said, settle up. D'Angelo was like, yep, there you go. It's so true. Oh, and when you went away for a minute, somebody, Charlie said, it was getting good. Come back, Robert. Yes, come back.
Thank you so much.
So Robert, before you go though, thank you. I really, this is one of the best quickies I've ever had. I so enjoyed this. Is there anything else that you want to tell us before you go? Even about you, these ideas, even about your show and everything? Talk to us, whatever you want to say.
My podcast is called Tough Love. It's pragmatic practices for the modern times. And I have a whole range of experts on all different levels, from relationships, sexuality, and I do Rob rants as well. So Tough Love, TUFF Love, with Rob Candell. It's on all your favorite podcasts. The thing I recommend the most is my book. It's called Unhidden, a book for men and those confused by them. In other words, it's all of us. We are confusing people. We look simple, but we're not. So in that, I write a pragmatic guide for all genders to learn how to relate to men better, men to relate to themselves, men to relate to other men, and women to relate to men. So that's on Amazon. There's audio, Kindle, and regular. So please check it out. And everything can be found at my website, robertcandell.com. And then have so much fun. I will come back anytime with you, Erica.
Thank you so much. I want to toast to you and say thank you for letting all the women watching this know that, for one, men, there are men out here, and the majority of them want love, even though they may have trouble expressing it.
Yep.
It is there. The possibility to find a fully functioning human being that is a man that will love you and adore you and be good to you. It is there, but you might have to get you a fixer-upper. Be patient, take your time, and check out everything that Robert said. But I just want to toast you, Robert, because you are smooth. I love it. Everything you said was the bomb. And somebody else here is saying great message. That it feels good to hear a sensible man, and I know you come across so many different men because of what you do, to let us know they're out here and there are good men here. Don't give up hope,
Don't give up hope. Yep.
Yeah, because there have been times I've wanted to give up, but I know what I deserve, but it's about me tapping into me and what I want. And I'm all for a fixer-upper. Hey, it's some bomb fixer-uppers out here.
It's fun. Yeah.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you, Robert. Good night, and I'll see you again soon.
Love it.
Cheers. Wasn't that awesome? Loving Robert right now. That was a good quickie, boy. Nothing like a good quickie. Okay, now my next guest, Coach KJ. He was on my show a couple weeks ago. We had so much fun. I was like, I got to get Coach KJ back. And so many of you all wrote and said that you enjoyed him as well. I want to read you about him. Kevin Anthony Johnson, also known as Coach KJ, is a Fortune 500 executive coach and life strategist from Chicago Southside. He's from the Shy, baby. And he's the author of Groove Back, Lessons from a Life Coach on Healing, Loving, and Being Loved. For over 20 years, Coach KJ has excelled in relationship coaching, leadership, self-awareness, and interpersonal skills development. So we are going to bring on my friend, Coach KJ. Hey.
Hey, Erica, how are you doing? Good to see you again.
How are you? Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, crystal clear.
Good to see you. How you doing? I love your background and everything. The way you have your lighting is really great.
Professional and yeah. I'll try to keep it looking really, really tight. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. How have you been?
Like everybody, the last couple of weeks have been rough.
It's been real touch.
Figuring out how I feel about all the things that have gone down as a Black man, all the feelings, the whole range, joy at seeing the response, the multiracial response to this. and also rage at seeing the things that have still happened during the protests, and everything in between. So it's been a little bit of everything. But I'm feeling much more encouraged now as I see everything develop.
That's awesome. Yeah, being a woman that I have my dad, I have my brother, I have so many very super close male friends, black male friends. And as a woman, when you have men in your life you love, when you're a black woman, you spend most of your time being concerned and worried about y'all. I'm sure your mama and everybody, your whole life has been concerned about not letting the streets get you, not letting the justice system get you.
Yeah.
So all this stuff is heavy for all of us, and I've been very concerned about black men and their mental state and how they're feeling. But tonight is about quickies.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy to have you next on my lineup of quickies. So the question of the night is, men want women to know that
you should not avoid conflict. Healthy conflict is a good thing for your relationships.
Let me take a drink.
Yeah, here you go.
What are you drinking?
This is absinthe refined with a twist of lime and agave.
You so bougie, Coach KJ, and I love it.
I admit it.
So bougie and so Chicago bougie, which is a different level of bougie than other places.
Yeah.
Okay. So while I'm sitting around saying I don't want no drama, singing a Mary J. Blige song, I don't want no trouble, I don't want no drama, I don't want no craziness. You're saying conflict should be something we should be open to, and that it is almost necessary.
Yeah. Look at what's happening right now in our world. Changes are happening all over our country because people are raising their voice to express exactly what they want. Think about that. And now let's take it down to the micro. That's the macro. Macro is the whole world is protesting, and we're seeing changes. Confederate soldiers and statues coming down, laws being passed, statutes being passed, people being fired from their jobs, people being prosecuted and charged for their crimes because conflict. But what happens when you have a conflict in your relationship? The last gentleman that was on talked about, it's important that women stand up and say, here's what I want, here's what I need. The previous person, here are my expectations. These are clear expectations. This is what I want. When we are able to voice those things, a man knows what to respond with. And that response becomes data to you as a woman in the relationship. But if you deny that conflict, if you stuff that conflict down, if you restrict that conflict from being expressed, you're not giving yourself even the opportunity to have any wins in that relationship. You're not even giving your expectations a chance to breathe, because the other person doesn't even know that there are different expectations to be lived up to.
Wow.
So if you don't take the risk, you can't get the reward.
Right. Wow. So maybe then is that why, you see some relationships where it seems like they're always perfect. Everything is so good. Even they'll say everything is just so great. It's wonderful. And then when some trouble happens, it really just throws them off. They can't handle it. It could be the smallest little thing where I'm looking like, girl, that's your issue. Like one of my friends, their marriage has been on the rocks over some dirty socks. And that he always has his dirty socks in the living room. And especially after she's cleaned up and done her thing, you have that fresh house feeling and it's smelling good. And you got your Febreze plug-ins plugged in and everything is good. And then here he comes with them dirty ass socks. And he had the nerve to leave them in the middle of the floor after all this cleanup I did. So they having problems. And for me, I'm like, dirty socks? Girl, my man got kids outside of the marriage. He took all the money out the checking account and went and bought a fucking pool table and put it in the basement. Like, I'll take dirty socks anything. But I think that's because I told her, you have high class problems. Your shit has been so easy breezy that y'all about to get a divorce over dirty socks, where there's some other people that have been through the trenches since day one and they're still hanging in there. So, but then my question to you, go ahead.
Yeah, well, I mean, this is all, it could be the same thing. I mean, one person's dirty socks is another person's affair. Because if the expectations are there, it could have the same impact, right? So every relationship is going to have the same standards or the same measures of success. But when I say conflict is good, I mean healthy conflict, and that's conflict around ideas, not conflict around persons, not conflict around identities. Because you start talking about, like, you know, Erica, you never do this and you never do that and you never do that. Well, that's actually assault on the person. The right conflict is, Erica, we agreed that we were going to do X, Y, Z, and I don't see you doing that. And that really affects me in a negative way. And I need you to do something different. That's a whole different conversation than just accusing you of doing something wrong.
Right.
We agreed on this. But here's the catch. If you've never agreed on anything, it's hard to have a healthy conflict. That's a sit moment. Yeah. Because if you never agreed on the terms of your relationship, if you are in a situationship, or if you have somehow just evolved into a relationship, I was talking to somebody earlier that you know, some people talk about their dating life and they say, yeah, I've been dating him for 4 years. No, you haven't. You haven't been dating somebody for 4 years. You've been in a relationship and you didn't know it. You just kind of fell into a relationship and never really established the boundaries and agreements of how you would be together and the terms of your relationship. You know, and to take the last guy's analogy, you never got a mortgage. You've been squatting.
Woo! You've been squatting in a goddamn house that is not your own. It was an empty, abandoned house on the corner.
And honestly, both of you have been squatting. You just been like, oh, you here too? Oh, okay, cool. You know, and that's the relationship. You are both mutually agreeing to squat in a relationship. You have not agreed to be in the relationship. You have not made terms. You have not made any relevant agreements or a vision for where you're going in the relationship. So when conflict comes up and disagreements arise, where do you go? You can only go to yourself and your personal vices and your personal issues with them. You can't go to an agreement.
Right.
You know, people who are married, they have a contract, but they don't have an agreement. Which is why marriages fail, because there's no agreement on how the marriage is supposed to be executed. The first speaker, John, I think, talked about marriage as love as a business. True, because if you don't have a contract, you don't have a business. If you don't have customers and you don't have a contract of service with that customer, you don't have a business.
It's like you got to have what they say in contractual agreements. There has to be a meeting of the mind. I remember when I was in business school, that was the main thing that they stressed to us, that if there has been no meeting of the mind, there is no contractual agreement.
Yeah.
And I think so many times, listen, I've been a squatter, and there have been times though I thought I was in a relationship and his ass was squatting.
Yep.
But it's partly my problem, my fault, because I didn't make sure there was a meeting of the minds. And as I'm getting older, I'm understanding how important communication is, and really saying what's on your mind and letting your needs be known and not being afraid. Somebody here just said, Coach KJ, you've been squatting. That's deep. That is deep. Somebody else, Michael said, I'm going to use that in my situationships. We both squatting. It's true.
If you think about it in terms of all conflict usually will come from a lack of mutual understanding. Why else would it be conflict? Like, you see it one way, I see it another way. Well, if we're constantly revisiting our agreements, the conflict can actually be very easy and quick. There's another concept that I want to apply to this, and that's emotional fitness. So you've got the couple who is fighting over the sock. Their emotional fitness is pretty low. It's the equivalent of trying to run up and down a walk up that's 4 flights, but you don't do any workouts. You don't have any kind of cardio in your life. And so what happens is you run up the 4 flights of stairs and you are winded because you just gone up 4 flights of stairs. You can't breathe. Well, that sock is the equivalent of walking up 4 flights of stairs. You can't really have a healthy conflict around something, and it's so small.
Yeah.
And yet you don't have the capacity to have a conflict around this thing or have a healthy conversation around it because you haven't really developed that muscle. You haven't developed the cardiovascular capacity to engage in a conflict that resolves. So you avoid it because that's easier. You just go to your room. You go in separate corners, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But when you develop the emotional fitness of being able to have those small conversations, engage in small conflict, build up your weight, build up your muscle, build up your cardio. And then when the big conflicts come along, you can engage those things because you develop some emotional fitness. You don't get so triggered by a sock. You don't get so triggered by the refrigerator door being left open or towels being left in the middle of the bathroom floor or whatever, you know, whatever your little thing is, you don't get triggered by the little things. It becomes a conflict around really important things in your relationship. So I always advocate whenever I work with somebody, it's like, I try to figure out where their emotional fitness is, where their triggers are. Because if they're still triggered by little things, we can't talk about big things. We got to work on the small things first and build up your capacity to deal with conflict. Because we're notoriously bad at dealing with conflict. Humans in general.
All of us. Yeah.
Humans in general. Because we want to belong. We want to feel accepted. We don't want to stir up things. We don't want to rock the boat. But rocking the boat is what makes us grow. Challenging each other makes us grow. We sharpen. The Bible says iron sharpens iron. You know, we sharpen each other by conflict. How do you? I mean, that's another sexual metaphor, though. But
yes, no, but you're right. Yeah. No, preach, brother, preach. You are saying a word. But so, did y'all hear that? He said, though, if you cannot handle the small conflicts, these are people that you can't even begin to. When the big things come, it's hard to even navigate through those things because this person doesn't have any kind of conflict resolution just with the small thing. This is what I wonder, though, Coach KJ, even in your own relationships, like you seem so calm and cool and thoughtful and intentful with the things you do, right? So when you and your woman are getting into it, though, over some conflict, are you the same way and like, well, listen, right now we are challenged and we're going to handle this conflict in a sensible way because I am Coach KJ and this is the way I handle things? Or do you sometimes be like, bitch, if you don't shut up?
Well, it won't get like
that. Go ahead. I'm going to take my drink.
Like it won't get like that.
So I don't think, and I'm being funny. I'm pretty sure that.
I love that you asked this question because I try to be as I seem. I try to live the way that people perceive me. So I don't have to work on it. I don't have to necessarily, try really hard to be something that I'm not. And everything that I share is something that I've learned, lived, experienced, suffered, endured. So, when I get into conflict, it is ugly. But my work is keeping it focused on the real ideas of our relationships. So if I'm in a conflict with somebody, it's always going to be about, we agreed to do this. This didn't happen. What didn't go right? What didn't work? Was it my fault? Was it your fault? Can we take responsibility for it? And how are we going to make it right? That's the core of an argument. But as soon as, and we're human, I do it every now and then, to be like, oh my God, why do you keep doing that?
Yeah.
But then it's easy also when you have a partner who will feed back to you like, that hurt. We don't argue like that. That's not how we argue.
Right.
If we keep it on the issue, it's fair. But if we start poking at each other, we're not going to get anywhere. So, but I also want to say, like, this is a point that we should look for in the dating process. So look for how you deal with conflict during the dating process. It's a great way to like, oh, wow. They don't really like conflict. They just shut down as soon as the conflict came up. Or if you want to express something and you do, and they come back at you and, pound you with some verbal abuse, that's some data.
Yep.
That tells you a little bit about how they deal with conflict. And it tells you, like, do I want to continue to develop this relationship based on what I just saw? Can I give them some honest feedback about my experience of how they dealt with conflict? That's the work of dating to me. And if you're not doing that when you're dating, you're doing it wrong. Because that's supposed to be teaching you something about yourself and about the other person.
About them. Well, I think so many times we want, in the dating process, we want everything to be so perfect and happy. That's the goal, right? Oh, I want to see how much he likes me and how much I like him, and
the fairy tale. Yeah.
And you're saying no, and I've heard that saying before, that you don't really know a person until you see the way they handle their anger as well as maybe their sadness. So you ain't never seen a man, baby. You don't even know him. If you ain't never seen her deal with a horrible situation, not necessarily from you, even stress on the job or her other family relationships.
There's a great line from The Matrix. There's a line from The Matrix. I think it's the second movie of The Matrix, where the protector of the Oracle is fighting Neo, and Neo is fighting, and the guy goes, "Stop, we're done fighting." He said, "Wait, why are we not fighting?" He said, "You never know someone until you fight them. I needed to know you were who you said you are."
Yes.
Woo!
That was
my favorite line from that movie.
Baby,
you never know someone until you fight them. Chink.
You just dropped some Matrix knowledge up in here. Oh my God. So then, before we go, the tough question is,
which Charlie Brown character am I?
Yeah.
No. No, go ahead.
So now, some people are going to hear this and walk away with it and say, see, ain't nothing wrong with me. I bring drama to all my relationships. That's what I do. I'm the queen of drama on that ass. That's how I love. Coach KJ said, if it ain't no drama in a relationship, it ain't no relationship. So that's why I do what I do. I'm full of drama. Here I come. Love me or leave me. And you say,
you're going to be alone. But what? Okay, so realistically though, drama is not healthy conflict. Drama is blame, shame, justification. Those three things is what drama entails. And so if you're going to bring drama into a relationship, you're not dealing on equal ground, because you're literally pointing at someone saying, you're doing this and you're doing that. You're not fulfilling my needs. You're not doing what you said you're going to do. I did this because I felt I needed to do it for myself. You should be ashamed of the way you behaved. You shamed me. I couldn't be proud of you in our relationship. All these things become an avoidance of personal responsibility for successful relating. So the more we own those things, instead of pointing the finger, instead of justifying our behavior, owning our stuff, owning our shit, owning our bullshit, being able to step into that stuff and honestly express, listen, I fucked up. I messed up everything. How do I make it right? That's healthy. Pointing the finger, not healthy. Making blame, making accusations, making excuses, not healthy. We have to come into relationships honestly, because if we're in business, in a relationship, in love, we better be honest with each other. Because the clarity is how we get to agreement. If we're not going to be clear, if we're not going to be honest, what are we doing? What kind of relationship are we in? Yes, let's sip. I agree.
Yeah. Let's sip. Thank you, Aisha, baby, because Coach KJ has said a word. Oh, and listen, because there are men that like drama too. So I didn't mean to present it like it's only women. And that's why I asked you, I was leading up to when I asked you about how you operate in conflict. Because I think that if there were more men like you that were so sensible, and first of all, you've got swagger. You are very grounded. Even with you teaching this stuff to us tonight, I can tell that when it comes to conflict resolution, you act like you got some good sense. But some of these fools out here, Coach KJ, you cannot really talk to them and do conflict resolution because they don't come with the same level of confidence and security that you have. Many times if you even try to talk to your man about something, you got to tiptoe and make sure you don't fuck with his ego, mess with his self-esteem. It's like I have to compute so many things to make sure I can communicate the right way to you that what you did was wrong. I didn't like it. And no matter if I say it calm or I'll be like, motherfucker, you ain't shit. Either way, he can't communicate. What do we do in those situations when we're dealing with men that don't have good conflict resolution skills?
Well, it's a great question, and thank you for the compliment, but it's always a work in progress.
Okay.
Men operate in a defensive place most times. It may feel like they're being on the offense, but they're really protecting their ego. And the work of us men is to reduce the defenses that we put up in relationships and allow ourselves to soften our shield, our guard, our whatever it is that we're putting up in front of ourselves to be accessible or to be emotionally accessed. We have to be willing to lay that down so that a woman can actually relate to us. And I say that in a hetero relationship, any relationship, you're going to have to lay down your guard to be accessed. And so my suggestion is something that I teach all of my clients, and this is not my original idea. This is something from the Center of Creative Leadership. It's a concept that's called, and get your pens out if you're listening and taking notes. It's SBIR, and it stands for situation, behavior, impact, and request. And so the way you would do this is you basically want to invite a conversation around this. I noticed, Erica, that you sent me a link to log on to the show. I'm just gonna mess with you right now. You sent me a link to log on to the show, and you communicated with me, and I really appreciated the communication in the back because I was supposed to be second, but I was actually ended up being the one that closes out the show. That impacted me in a kind of a weird, uncomfortable way, but I'm okay with it. You know, my request of you is that next time, you know, maybe we test the link out. I mean, I don't know if that would make any difference because the link still didn't work. I had to use my phone, but I go through that process. Situation, what did I see? What was the actual context of the situation? If we agree to say we're not going to leave socks on the living room floor because we have a shared agreement around cleanness of our home. And I noticed that you actually left your socks in the middle of the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Now that impacted me because it felt like a breach of trust. It felt like, you know, there was something disrespectful about it. I thought we had a clear understanding on this. It may seem small, but it really matters to me. So would you please make sure that next time you pay attention and you pick up those things before you leave the room? Now, that doesn't sound very confrontational, right? That's very fact-based. It is emotional because it shares a little bit of the impact on you and how it affected your ability to relate to the other person. But then it offers something like, could you do this next time differently? And it's such a simple thing. At first, I was only teaching this to business people. And then I realized I actually use it with everybody. And instead of saying, hey, I have some feedback for you, I simply say, hey, you know, remember that time that we had this situation? And I lay that out and I go through those 4 steps. And it's a very natural way to communicate. I felt something didn't quite work for me. Can we do something different? And can we talk about it? Because in that conversation, it might come out, oh, babe, I'm sorry. I rushed out because I had a call I had to go get. And I didn't even pay attention that I left those things in there. I will certainly not do that again. I'm sorry about that. And so it's not an attack. It doesn't attack the ego. It simply brings up what happened, and it makes it about you. It impacted me this way. So I'm not accusing you of breaking any rules or anything like that. I thought we agreed to this, and it hurt me that I saw this happen. And I want to ask you for a different kind of thing next time. How's that land with you? Yes.
So what I'm going to say is, Coach KJ, I know that I did send you the link, and I did not test it out to make sure it worked, and I'm sorry about that. I will say that the other guests on the show didn't have any problem with the link, so it's really your fault. So it's your problem. You made the mistake. So don't you come on here trying to blame me for nothing. And furthermore, stop leaving your socks in the middle of the floor all the time. See, that went so wrong. I do not have situation behavior impact requests. No, for real though. I'm so sorry about the link. I don't know when it went wrong. You know I love you. No, but this is how I've evolved. First of all, I don't let this show nothing. I don't lose my cool with anything. What's supposed to happen happens, right? That's the way I take it. So when you hadn't logged on, I immediately thought, oh my goodness, maybe something happened with the link, or maybe I didn't send him something right. I did. So then I put the other person on the big screen so I could get on my phone. And I saw you had written me. So I was in the middle of the show and just sent you the link again. So I never go to, oh, he ain't nothing. He blowing my show off. No. Because I can tell because of the kind of man you are, the way you carry yourself. You on time, baby. I already know. Any woman dealing with you ain't never got to worry about you being late. If anything, you probably there early. So when I didn't see you, I was like, something's up. So no, it was probably my mistake. I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna work on that. That was good practice. That was good role play, Coach KJ.
And now you get a sense of what it feels like to communicate that message, and you're aware of how you're physically experiencing the conflict, how you're expressing it verbally, how it's showing up on your face. Yes, and it's great practice. All of that stuff communicates. So if you're on the other side of this conversation, you get to see, oh, this is how she shows up. Oh, I really affected her. All of a sudden, you have the opportunity for empathy from the other person, because they're seeing you express truth from how it impacted you, not an accusation of them. And that's the beauty.
You are blowing on everybody is saluting you. I don't know if you can see all the messages going up. And these are mainly women watching saying, Coach KJ, you are so right. Like, we need to all work on that. So I appreciate that. But it turns out you're not going to end up being my last. My next guest did just sign in, and he's coming up next. But I want to thank you for this quickie. Is there anything else you want to say before you go to us?
Listen, just bring me back for another conversation. It's always good. It's always fun. We always have a great laugh. And, there's some great stuff on my link tree, on this link that's showing up right now. There are videos, there's books, there's some other opportunities that I'll be posting there. So follow me on Instagram, hit up that Linktree link and see what else I have to offer out there. You can get my book, which is Groove Back.
Yes.
Lessons from a Life Coach on healing, loving, and being loved. And it's available on Amazon, hard copy, Kindle, and soon to be available on audio.
Hold it up again, Coach KJ. That was too fast. I know it's a quickie, but damn. Okay, yes. Groove. I'm gonna put you on the big screen holding that. Tell us about the book a little bit more before you go.
Well, the book basically catalogs my journey of 100 plus dates in about 100 days in the summer of 2015. I was coming out of a really difficult ending of an engagement, and I realized I needed to experience something that was going to challenge me to grow, not just do what I normally would do in a relationship and start dating immediately again. I took a long time between the breakup and dating again. And I decided I'm just going to date as many women as I can. I'm going to lower my filters, because all the aesthetic filters I felt like were keeping me from meeting more quality women. And I just found a way to meet as many as I could. And I learned along the way some lessons, and I put those lessons into the book. in terms of what to look out for. If you're dating online, if you're dating in analog format, old school. Now, I almost need to write a whole new version for post-quarantine, to bring it up in terms of, what does it mean to be a safe date nowadays? It's kind of a weird thing to adjust to. But the lessons of the book are basically, what are the hooks that we go into dating with that keep us from seeing the person as they really are? And the more we can identify those hooks and be honest in our showing up in our dating experience, the better we can get results, the better results we'll experience, and the more fun we'll have in the dating process. Because I know a lot of women, a lot of guys really don't like dating. And I feel like it's because they're not looking for the right things. And they're assuming things that aren't actually there. And they're not having the healthy conflict. They're not challenging each other on their dates. And so dating should be an exercise in growth. And I began to look at it that way. And that's what the book is all about.
Wow. So you all make sure you go to Coach KJ's Linktree. I also put his Instagram down here. It's at Coach KJ. As you can see, he is the truth. I enjoy talking to you. I can only imagine the kind of relationships you're really helping with the way you coach. And then also the fact that you coach executives at Fortune 500 companies. Many of them need you now more so than ever, and especially when it comes to probably inclusion and de-escalating things that are going on with their employees of color and everything. So I just want to say salute to you, Coach KJ. You are awesome, and because of you, I'm gonna work on my my skills when it comes to having conflict with people. I'm a take from the school of Coach KJ and just bring it on down and stop all just be very calm and collective and cool. I'm a channel Coach KJ.
Be you.
Right.
You can be you and be healthy conflict. Yes, you can be all
there
that.
You go. Thank you so much for coming on and having this quickie with me tonight. I appreciate it. And hopefully sometime in July you can come back. We'll just do a whole show with you just schooling us on stuff.
Anytime. Absolutely. Love
you. Thank you. Good night. That was cool. I love Coach KJ. All right, guys, we got one more quickie left. These quickies didn't happen as quick as I thought they would. We've been doing a lot of talking tonight, but it's good, right? Because they're really dropping some powerful information on us. So with that being said, I want to bring up my final quickie for tonight. I want to read you a little bit about him. Dr. Ryeal Simms, the relationship scientist, is a cognitive neuropsychologist. Woo, that's a hard word. Neuropsychologist, that means he's smart. A behaviorist, motivational speaker, and the leading authority on the neuroscience, neurobiology, sex, human behavior of relationships worldwide. He is a licensed and certified relationship coach, counselor on marriage, and a facilitator and body language expert with the Relationship Coaching Institute. Woo! Now listen, I saved my smartest quickie for last. I don't want to say that because they're all brilliant and smart, but we're dealing with a neuropsychologist that's going to get into our brains and tell us how our brains work. Y'all ready for this? Get your drinks out, because I know whatever he's about to say is going to blow our minds. Let's give it up for the fabulous Dr. Ryeal Simms. Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Good. Oh, man, it was so informative. These guys were just dropping some serious knowledge.
Yes, it's been, listen, usually when I have quickies, the men are dumb. So this is a breath of fresh air for me tonight, okay? You all have been brilliantly amazing. So, and hey, save the best for last, so to speak. So, what are you drinking, Doctor, tonight?
It's pomegranate Lamar.
That's wine, right?
Yeah.
Okay, excuse me. Yeah, that sounds like something a neuropsychologist would drink. Before we get started on our quickie, though, tell me a little bit more about you, who you are, and what you do.
Well, yeah, neuropsychologist, and I specialize in why we do what we do from an eco-biopsychosocial and spiritual point of view. I teach neuroscience with the Optimize Institute, and I speak all over the world about relationships, about the science of relationships, about what goes on in the brain when we're in relationships, and why we do what we do when it comes to the brain and the body. So I speak about the biology of it, and I also teach body language as well. I work as a consultant for the film industry. So when people are writing relationship theme type films, I add the science into it. So I try to just give more, I try to bring relationships in the full circle. We understand a lot of things about relationships, but I try to add the science to it to bring it full circle so we could totally understand. Oh, now I get it. Okay, now I understand why we do this. You know, I've heard this before. So what I talk about is not something that you've never heard. It's just you just never heard it in the science point of view, where you can better understand what's going on in the brain and the body.
Wow. So there really is a science to the way in which we love and choose our partners and date and have relationships. It truly is scientifically sound, right? Like there's the things that you see people doing while the rest of us are confused about it. You, because you know the way the brain works and the way all the hormones and chemicals work in our body, you sit back and say, yep, that's about right. I knew that was going to happen. Yep. But the rest of us are like, what the hell is going on?
Absolutely. Like, okay, I understand. I can understand why that happened. Yep. Yeah, it's like, okay. Or I'm not as surprised because once you know this, you're less judgmental because you understand why it happened and how it happened.
Wow. Okay, so with that being said, since tonight my quickies are all about you telling us some new information, what do you say when I say men want women to know that
it's okay to, I know I'm going to get emails and stuff for this, that it's really okay to come on to the men, that we really don't mind you coming on to us. It just has to be subtle. It can't be as aggressive as the men, but it could be subtle. Actually, you know, to be honest with you, biologically speaking, women make the first move anyway. We just don't realize it. We just don't recognize. And because we are raised in a dialectic society, we're pretty much dictated as to what we should do and how we should do it when it comes to creating a vitalized, harmonious, cohesive working relationship. And what I mean by that is that we've been so taught in the social society what we should do and how we should do it as a male or as a female. And so, you know, I'm here to just say, hey, well, you know, this is okay, and maybe this is not, and this is okay, you know. So, and not to tell somebody what they do, but just to explain that some things are okay, right?
So, doctor, what you're saying is it's okay, women feel confident making that first move, but don't be a thirst bucket. Don't come off so thirsty.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because we still, as men, we're still the chaser. You know, we're still the chaser. But guess what? Women really are the choosers, right? So I tell women, be the chooser, not the chosen. Because really, when I'm in a crowd and I ask women, how is it that you got married? And most women would say, I ended up marrying my husband because he asked me. Okay, but that's not what I'm saying. You know, I'm like, well, how did you end up getting married? It's because you said yes, because the power is in your hands. And it's because you're the chooser. right? Us men, I always tell women, you're the employer. Us men, we're interested in trying to get the job. So we're always out trying to get hired. Women, you're the employer.
So
You're the employer.
We're the CEO.
You're the boss. You're the one that says yes. You're the one that says no. We're the one who's asking, right? So that power is really lying in your hand. You're the chooser. You know, I try to tell young ladies when I'm speaking in high school, just because this guy is a football player, he's the star of the baseball, he's the star of the basketball, and you feel like, man, out of all the women, he chose me. No. He found you. You know how people say religiously, he who finds a good thing, he who finds a wife finds a good thing, right? Well, actually, I can go and look in the newspaper and I can look on the computer for a job and I could find the job that I want. But does that mean I'm going to get the job? No, I have to be interviewed first, right? And so although he found you, that means you got to do your homework and see if he qualifies to be hired by you, because you're the employer. Don't get all excited just because, oh my God, you know, just because he's the football player or he's the star basketball player. That doesn't mean, because he's the star basketball player, doesn't mean he qualifies to be hired in your job, in your business, right? You're the employer. So you let him know, whoa, hey, hold on for a second. I need to do some things first before you can get hired here, right? So it's important. And when we talk about, you know, what are the subtleties, you know, of making sure that it's okay for you to come on. Look, by the laws of nature, just by the laws of nature, God have given women these subtle things to use, but we've taught you women to suppress them. We've taught you don't use them. You know, we're the man and we have to come on to you and we don't want you to use anything. But just think about it, because a lot of women say, well, how do I know what to use? When you know what you feel inside to do, that's natural. So you don't have to, and again, like I said, you don't have to be aggressive. You don't have to, you know, be like a man, you know, because one thing we have to understand is, what people don't understand about the brain is that our neural circuitry for emotional processing is different when it comes to men and women. And I don't mean different as in good or bad or right or wrong. I just mean different by the laws of nature, right? And so it just shows us that when we have okay, let me go back. What are some of those things? What are some of those subtle things that a woman have that God gave her to use to say, hey, I'm interested, right? Without being aggressive, without using your testosterone, right? Because that's what it is. It's the male is using the testosterone, the woman is using her estrogen, right? So you're using both. And one thing is called our pursuit spot, right? It's the sexual dimorphic nucleus of the preoptic area of the brain. So
okay, wait, slow down now. You're saying smart shit now, doctor. Okay, now slow it on down.
I'm gonna break it down though. Whenever I say it, I always give it to you in the layman term.
You said the preoptic, phylactic. I'm like, what now? Go ahead.
So our sexually dimorphic nucleus of the preoptic area is actually the pursuit spot. It's actually a spot that we have that we can see in the brain, that men's pursuit spot is bigger than the woman. But this is the trick, because I have this argument and this debate a lot with other scientists. This is the deal. Yes, we want to try to appeal to ourselves as being the same. But the fact is that we are different. And, you know, when we hear the term, we're more alike than different, right? Mm-hmm. But remember that term, if people don't really realize that term, when that term first came out, it was really, it came out with a poet. A poet, that's a poet's quote. That's not a science quote. That didn't come from science, right? And I love the poet who said it. You know, I love her. She's cool. She was great. She was a great woman, right? But that wasn't science-based. And that point did not mean we're the same. The point was saying we should be treated equal. That's what that point meant. When it says we're more the same than different, it meant being treated equal, right? But the fact is, if you use any term with the word different, that means you're different. You're not the same, right? So if you add the word different to anything, if you have two apples and say, well, these are both apples, but there's a scratch in this one. It's a little different than this one. It's different. Then it's different. Right. It's not the same. It's different. So we have to accept that, right? But when we accept the differences, we appreciate the differences, right? Just like what's happening right now with racism and everything. You know, we can't say I don't see color. It's okay that you see color, right? Because you appreciate the color. It's okay that you see it, just appreciate it, right? Like I see several colors. I see several nationalities, and I appreciate those nationalities. That's why what I see is what I appreciate, right? So the differences between in man and woman, we have to appreciate what we have, because there's some things that woman has, a certain it that you guys have that we have. We love to have it, right? That's and look, the bottom line. President Obama did not become president by himself. Okay, he became president because of his wife that used to be his mentor, used to be his boss, right?
Yes.
Right. So he knows that certain it. He knows I need that woman. It's a certain it that she has that I don't have, that we need from you. So it's important for us to understand the differences, right? You know, because we need you just as well as you need us, you know, but we need each other. So I know I'm just going off. I'm not giving you a chance to talk. So
no, do your thing, doctor. Speak.
But yeah. So some of our differences, I mean, some of our subtleness for a woman is to use the natural things that you have, the natural things that come to your mind. You know, if you look at somebody, you know, it's okay to give him a look. Matter of fact, it's not okay to give him a short look. It's okay to give him a look to let him know, I see you. And if you're interested, now this is when he's going to what? Pursue. This is when he's going to come after you, because some of us just hate the walk of shame. We hate the fact that we're going to come up to you and we, try to come on to you and you like, no, I'm from Chicago. Oh, you from, hey, right. We used to have house parties, right? And our house parties, man, you go on somebody to dance, you got to walk all the way over. Ask the president, he says, no, you got to walk all the way back in front of everybody, seeing that she said no, right? So it's important for us to know that you might be interested. And if you're interested, then that's when our testosterone kicks in. That's when our chase kicks in, and then that's when we come and we try to do whatever we can to try to win you, even over another male. If we see another male that's probably checking you out, another male that's probably interested. But this is no different than any other male living, breathing creature, because we all do it. All male creatures do it. When you watch National Geographic, when you see rams keep hitting themselves, and they're doing it to try to win, right? And then they're trying to impress. For us human males, what do? We buy the fine watch. We're not buying a watch to impress a guy. Right. We buy the car. We're not trying to buy that car to impress another dude, right? We're trying to impress you. Why? Because what I said at the beginning, because you are the what? You're the employer.
Right.
We're trying to get I'm at home trying to figure out, what can I get? What kind of tie can I buy? What else can I buy? What kind of shirt can I buy to try to get hired? So when I show up at this party, this is part of my marketing strategy of trying to get hired. This is part of my resume, right?
But listen, first of all, what you're saying is so awesome. It's blowing my mind. And you're really letting women know the power that we have, because so many of us feel powerless. And we're being sold a bill of goods, especially, Doctor, Black women. We've been told that, first of all, we're undesirable. We're the last to be chosen. Nobody wants us. Our men don't want us. And then on top of that, that there's 6 of us to every one of you if our preference is an African-American male. And I know a lot more women, and we're right now, everybody that's watching, we're talking about a very heterosexual type of situation. I don't want anybody to feel left out. This particular show is about men and women. I am going to do some other shows that are about queer relationships and same gender loving. So please don't nobody get offended and start writing me and telling me I wasn't inclusive. This show in particular was for my single straight girls, because we have some issues in our relationships in particular that other folks aren't dealing with. So I just want to put that out there. But so, Doctor, we're being fed this information. So if anything, it's making women act out of character and probably do some things that go against nature and how our brains are set up. And we're doing the thirsty thing. Somebody has a question here for you. She says, does a man stop chasing after he's been chosen? How do you keep the man excited to grow with you? Good question.
Yeah, novelty, just keeping the relationship fresh, you know, because what happens is that sometimes we get in this comfort zone when we get into a relationship, right? We feel like, oh, okay, now I hired this person. Now I don't have to do one. I don't have to do 2.
Jobs do us. I got you in, now you working for me. Then now I'm making you work overtime and not paying you what you're worth.
Yes.
And tapping into your lunchtime, making you do extra work. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and that's the thing, because, you know, I get that question asked all the time. How do we keep our relationship fresh? How do we keep it going? You know, and that novelty, just think about this too. You know, when people jump off the mountain with the parachute, right before they jump off the mountain, they get this rush of dopamine. This is the anticipation, because they know they're getting ready to do something that's gonna give them an altered state of consciousness, this euphoria, this high, right? So they get this rush of this dopamine, one of these neurotransmitters, this chemical that's going into the brain, and from the brain into the body. And what happens is once they jump, then they get this rush of serotonin. You know, you get this high. You're like, wow, that felt so good. I want to do it again, right? And you go back up, you jump again, you get this rush again. You're like, man, I want to do it again. But eventually, what happens is that it starts to die down, right? That particular mountain is no longer as fun anymore, right? Because you've been doing it over and over and over again. So what do you do? So what do, you know, these athletes, they end up finding a new mountain to jump off of. So that's novelty, right? And that's novelty. And that's why it's important to keep novelty in the relationship, because if you don't change the novelty in the relationship, one of you are going to look for another mountain, right? And that's not a good thing, right? And that's why both of you should both seek for novelty, doing new things, you know, adding new things into your relationship. And that'll keep that relationship, that'll keep you to have that vitalized, harmonious, cohesive working relationship strong, right? And that's creating, even if it's getting into the car and just drive somewhere together, both of you. This is something that you've never done before ever, that you just got into the car and said, you know what, let's just drive. Let's go north. Let's just go north, and then we'll stop someplace and eat at a restaurant. We don't even know where we're going. But that's novelty. It's doing something new and fresh in that relationship, and new for your husband, right? If it's, you know, find out what is his love languages, right? I'm not just necessarily saying the love languages that we read in the book, right? But we all have love languages that's not even in that book.
Wow.
Right? So it's important to find out other love languages that we understand our significant have, and massage those love languages, you know, utilize those love languages and do new things for each other, right?
Well, somebody wants to know, have you written any books about this?
I'm currently writing them now. Absolutely. I actually, what I'm doing is I'm writing an encyclopedia of small books where you can actually keep them in your purse. So each one of these topics that you're actually hearing me mention, they're actually small topics, and they're small books of it. So I'm I'm writing an encyclopedia of all of these topics. Absolutely.
Well, I know that. So you're telling us the main thing. I just want to sum it up that women, don't be afraid to make the first move. Don't think it's a masculine thing or out of character. And even if that is a glance, like you told me, I'm not supposed to stare long. Should I look directly in his eyes, doctor, and just be like,
well, no, well, just make eye contact.
okay,
Just make eye contact with the person. And look, this is why it's important. And this is why it's important. You make the eye.
Right. Look, doctor, every man I see, I like him. It's gonna be like, I'm trying to let the laser beams come from my eyes. Like, I want you, get me pregnant right now. I want to get pregnant. Like, don't you see me? God damn it! I'm looking at you.
Now that's aggressive, right? And that's what we have to watch out for, right?
Don't do that, ladies. Don't do that. But I'm gonna bring up though the other night when we spoke.
Yeah.
And you said, Erica, you told me about the perfect time for a woman to go out and engage with men and meet men is during a certain time of the month.
Well, yeah.
Talk a bit about that, because I'm thinking that that'll at least help. Because also women, we may not walk across the floor to ask you for a dance, and then if you say no, walk all the way back. But if I spruce up and do all this and start giving you that direct laser beam eye contact, and then look away, and then when I look back, you over there talking to another bitch, it's gonna hurt my feelings. Yeah. So, but you said there's a time when we are more likely to get that male energy to be naturally neuropsychology wise attracted to us than a leg up. Can you talk about that a bit? Ladies, get ready. I'm giving you a secret. Get ready. Go ahead.
Yeah. So when you're ovulating, you actually release a pheromone that's called copulence. And when you release the copulence, this is something that us males smell. And this is nothing different than any other living, breathing creature, and especially in the female creature. All females. Now, if you're in a neighborhood, like I said, I was raised in Chicago, where I usually used to see stray dogs in my neighborhood when I was a little kid, and I would see the female canine, and when behind her, you would see like a whole bunch of male canines following her. Well, that's because they could smell her. That's because what we call, when we see the female canine, we call she's in heat. Well, it's the exact same thing when it comes to the human female, that you're actually what we call estrus, but you're in heat when you ovulate. So you release a certain smell that us men really smell. And when we smell that, we also release a chemical called androstenone. So this is one of the reasons why people end up having, and how people end up having sex on the first night, is because just based on you ovulating. Now, sometimes ovulation can get you in trouble because you have a whole bunch of people and a whole bunch of men all over you, because they could smell that, because the body is saying, I'm ready to procreate. And so we are wired this way to smell this and to come on to you, because we know that you're in heat. So again, like I said, you have to be careful, because you might have too many people like all around you, and I know there's many times it's the wrong kind of guy that's around you too, but you're gonna get them all right, because you are actually letting out the pheromone copulence. Yeah. Wow. So it's pretty deep. Yeah.
We need to take a drink to that, doctor. That's oh damn, I don't have no more wine left. Let me drink some water out of my ghetto cup. You just said a mouthful. And you know what though, ladies, I don't know if you heard that. So he basically said, when you are ovulating, baby, you are in heat. And if you go outside and let the wind blow and let some of that whiff up, let them get a whiff of it, you can get all the men you want and stare at them, give them that quick glance, look the other way, and just let the pheromone funk come on off of you. Just wave your arms let it all out, and you'll get more men. But you know what, doctor? What I've noticed for me though, typically when I'm ovulating, I'll stay in, and that may be part of my problem. I'm not as I'm out and about when I'm not ovulating. When I'm ovulating, I'm not feeling as good. I need to change. I need to be like, oh shit, I'm ovulating. Let me go take my ass outside and go to the grocery store. I know I can meet a man in the cereal aisle. Men love cereal for some reason. Or over in that meat aisle. I just need to go to the grocery store while I'm ovulating, and I'm gonna get pregnant.
Yeah, because sometimes ovulation is a little painful, and a little uncomfortable to a woman, you know. So sometimes, you know, I can understand being at home. But check this out.
Wait, look,
when you're at home,
not quite what he said, Erica. Basically, I took what you said and totally ran. That's my problem. I hear one thing and do another. I shouldn't do that.
But Erica, check this out. When you are at home, when you ovulate, you can also make phone calls.
Yes. You better talk about it, doctor. Go ahead.
When you are ovulating, ovulation also changes your vocal cords. So your voice is different. When you ovulate, your voice is different. Also, when you ovulate, your symmetric symmetry is different. Your face change. When you ovulate, your hips come out wider than normal. Your waist goes in normal when you ovulate. So when you're on the telephone, your voice is more sexier when you during ovulation. You know, usually, and I could pretty much tell if it's somebody that I work with a lot, I could tell the difference when I'm talking to that person and when that person is actually ovulating. So I did a test. I asked the person if they could be part of my experiment. And then, you know, I wanted to test it. So when I did, she actually said, oh my God. She was like, yes, how did you know? And I said, I just wanted so she's part of my research, actually. Yeah. So you are on the phone, and there's been studies too. I mean, there's been studies where phone sex operators, when they make more money, check this out, they make more money when they're ovulating on the phone, and strippers make more money when they're ovulating at the strip club. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, because the men are going to be more attracted to the person who's ovulating, and then he's going to want to make it rain because he's trying to do whatever he can to keep her attention. Yeah.
Ladies, do you all hear this? Damn it. We've been doing it all wrong.
This is science. This is real. This is not what I think. This is real science.
This is real, right? Yeah. But the thing is, most of us aren't talking even to our regular doctors and gynecologists about this kind of stuff. We're not getting this kind of scientific, real data about sex and dating and relationships. Like the stuff you're saying is revolutionary, really, because when it boils down to it, we're mammals. We are animals, and we function the same way other animals do in the animal kingdom. And what you're saying makes total sense, but it's like, damn. Yeah. So open with a nice, cute smile and some direct eye contact, enough to let him know that it's safe.
Enough to let him know that it's safe to come over. Because look, when you think about it, see, I have this argument all the time. And the first thing I ask is, how many thousands of women sign up for a dating site?
Yeah.
That's making a move.
That is making a move. You're right.
That's making a move, because in our minds, what we think is, hey, let me just not do anything and hope that he recognizes me. Well, there might be a time that he may not recognize you. He may not know that you're over there. He may not see you, right? Well, make yourself available, because one of the things, the primitive thing about men and our testosterone level and about our hunting ability in the primitive time is that we're hardwired in our brain. We're hardwired where we hunt. When we hunt, we're hardwired to see movement, see things that's moving real fast. Because if we're standing still and we're waiting to try to find what, you know, the food that we're trying to hunt for, we're hardwired for movement, anything that moves. right? And that's hardwired in us, that testosterone. So if you're behind me, you're somewhere, and I might not recognize you. I'm looking at everybody else in front of me. I'm looking at all the women in front of me. Make yourself known. And I don't mean you have to even introduce yourself, but at least say, let me see if this person may be interested in me by walking by him. Make yourself seen. You know, don't just stay back there and hope that eventually he'll turn around. He might be having a conversation with some guy or some girl, and he may have a conversation forever. And then when that conversation is over, he's leaving. And then you go, well, he never came on to me, or he didn't recognize me. Well, he probably didn't see you, you know, so you have to put yourself in that view, you know, even if it means just walking by him. Remember when I said earlier, one time we talked, listen, this is something that's so important, women. And again, this is not me telling you, this is me sharing something about men and women and about the biology of us, right? One thing we got to understand when it comes to God, right? God is in business. He's an entrepreneur, and he's in business to generate babies. He's in business to generate humans. When we're entrepreneurs, we're in business to generate money, right? The difference is that, well, actually, there's no difference. I mean, I'm just going to tell you, as God is an entrepreneur, he's going to constantly show you commercials. He's constantly showing you commercials. You are one of the commercials, woman. You are one of his major commercials. I tell people all the time, every time a woman walks past a man, we just saw one of God's commercials. You know, when we're at home and we're watching television and we're watching a McDonald's commercial, you probably say to yourself, McDonald's, why do you keep showing me these commercials? I get it. You sell hamburgers. I've been seeing this since I was born. But what we have to realize is that 360,000 people are born every day, but 151 die every day, right? So it's important, out of those 360 people that are born every day, God makes a profit of about 209,000 people, right? So he has to give you more people born than the people who are dying. So he's making an effort because he knows in order for my business, this globe, the earth, in order for it to continue, he has to procreate. He has to keep making customers. So in order to keep making customers, and think about McDonald's, in order to keep your customers coming, you have to keep showing commercials. So what's one of God's commercials when it comes to a woman? The first thing you do when one of the companies that make the biggest money is makeup company. Makeup, lipstick, natural hair products for sisters, right? If it's whether it's white sisters or black sisters, they know that product because what you're doing too, as well as us men buying ties, buying cars, buying rings and watches, we're doing it to market ourselves. We're doing it to look beautiful, right? So when we buy these things, we know we're spending this money. So that's the commercial. So you're the commercial. You're making that hamburger look really good. You're making that hamburger look really, really good. The person go, whoa, I want to go to McDonald's. So when you put on your clothes, your lipstick, your color to your dress, your color to your things, your earrings, and you looking good, you making you look good. You advertising you. So you are a commercial of God. So when you walk by me, I'm saying, whoa, I want that. I want that Big Mac, that human Big Mac right there. That's what I want, right?
Yeah. I am a human Big Mac. I got to repeat that to myself. I am a human Big Mac. And God is my Ronald McDonald. And he has created me to be a walking billboard and commercial for him so that we can keep these babies coming. The ideal of that, though, is beautiful. I know you didn't exactly say that, but the fact that we really are, if God is an entrepreneur and he's in the business of procreation, he's empowered us to make ourselves as beautiful and inviting and to look as delicious as we can so that somebody will buy us.
Absolutely. And if God is just going to leave it up to just the men to do the chasing and women have nothing. Remember when I said this, remember when I mentioned the sexual dimorphic nucleus, right, in the male, right? Well, the woman, I just said this, and I see this is the argument that I have with other scientists. You see, when they say, they try to say, well, you know, the male's sexual, the pursuit spot is bigger than the woman. Yes, it's bigger than the woman, and the male is more aggressive than the woman. But what you don't realize is that the woman has one. You see, God is not going to give you an arm, 2 arms, and you can't use them, and legs you can't use, or lips you can't use. He's giving them to you so you can use them.
Yeah.
Right. So if you have a pursuit spot, and the male has a pursuit spot, and the male's pursuit spot is this big, the woman's pursuit spot is this big, that doesn't mean her pursuit spot doesn't work.
Exactly. Yes. Wow. So, okay, ladies, Doctor has given you, he's given, first of all, the keys to the kingdom. He's broken it down, and he's giving you permission to, for one, make yourself look as delicious as possible. And whatever that means for you, right? Because we come in a variety of sizes. Some of us are a small, a medium, a large, and some of us are super size.
That's right.
You can get whatever size French fry you want. So whatever it is, you make.
McDonald's sell a small hamburger, right?
Yep.
And McDonald's sells a Big Mac, whatever size. And now check this out. When McDonald's shows a small hamburger, does he say, oh, well, we can just show the small hamburger, we don't have to fix it up? That small hamburger looks good.
Yeah.
One little hamburger. When they say we have a sale on the small hamburger, right? On a Big Mac burger, that little hamburger looks good. Those chicken McNuggets, they make them look good.
Sure.
Right? They make every product look good. So that's the same thing. You know, you have to say to yourself and correct people when they come to you and say, oh no, you shouldn't, no. And then I've had people talk about, well, what about the Boaz story? Right? I'm waiting for my Boaz.
Waiting for my Boaz. They love throwing a Bible verse out there.
Reread the story. Reread the story. You're gonna see some stuff that you might not like, because remember, she went and laid under the blanket while he was asleep. When he woke up, he saw her there. Remember, she already got information from her mother-in-law. Right. And it wasn't that she was desperate. It wasn't that she was looking for a man. Right. When we say how it was the fact that her husband got killed. She came to live with her mother-in-law to take care of her. Her mother-in-law was like, I'm good, I'm cool, but you need to go out. You need to do your thing, because you were asking about the gentleman over here. So let me tell you some little things. She's doing the same thing I'm saying right now. She said, let me tell you what you could do.
Yes.
Right. And remember, Boaz said, he said this, and you can read it in the Bible, and it probably, depending on what kind of Bible you have, it might have changed. You read in the Bible, and what did Boaz say? He says, why did you choose me? Choose. Because woman, you're the chooser. You're the one who says yes. You're the one. You're the employer. Us men, we're interested in trying to find the job.
Wow. You done got me charged up, doctor. I'm ready to go out here in this quarantine and let somebody take a bite of my Big Mac. You got me charged up. I might have to. I'm a Big Mac and some fries and a large.
Yes, and fries, absolutely.
Yeah.
And fries.
Wow, thank you so much.
We live. I mean, we work we're employees for God.
Yes,
we're employees.
Yeah, we are walking commercial. So y'all hear that, everybody, ladies and men too. Spruce yourself up. Make yourself look like 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. All of you all are a Big Mac. Make yourself look delicious, look like it tastes good, and get out here, give the look, make a move. Because remember, you don't want to let God down. God is in the business.
He's in the business. He's in the business.
Yes.
And whatever you think about doing, it's okay. I'm not, like I said, You know, you don't want to be aggressive. You don't want the male to feel like it's another male coming to him.
Yes.
Right. He wants to feel like I'm making the move. Right. You know, he wants to make that, he wants to feel like I'm chasing you. Right. But we know the woman she's already making the move when the man walks in. Let me tell you, when especially when you're ovulating too as well. But I teach body language too. Man, when I first learned body language, we went out as a test to watch people. When I was watching, I went to this club, we had to take notes. And I was watching the body language of these people, but this one particular woman, and it scared me because I'm actually seeing a human being do what I learned. And I was like, oh my God.
Wow.
And it was this woman so was interested, and what they, you know, the things that she was doing, like giving signals through body language, which she wasn't even aware of.
Yeah, wow.
Right? And it was just so scary, but yet fun, but yet like, wow, this is what God created. Because he created all of this. He created all of this so we could come together, you know. And you know what? Even like I said, to even gay or straight, you know, because we still need loving gay couples to come together to continue showing us love,
yes.
Right? To adopt the kids that other people don't want. We still need all love. We need love. We need straight and gay love. But yes. God created, and look, you would think you go, oh well, you're gay. You're not interested. See, some of the things that I am saying apply to you too as well, right? Even if you're gay, you know, we're talking about testosterone. So we're talking about testosterone. So one man has testosterone. She has like 30 to 70 nanograms per deciliter, the testosterone level that she has. The male has like 300 to 150. Now, depending on the research article you may read a little different, but pretty much close to the same.
Okay.
Right. Some may say 15 to 80. I quote 30 to 70 levels of testosterone in woman. Right. And so what I'm saying is, if the same sex, one of them have a stronger testosterone level, and one of the women have a lower testosterone level, so they're still coming together, right? The one that has the most testosterone level is most likely the one that's more aggressive, right? So she might be at 70, you know, versus the 30.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. This is wonderful. You have dropped some gems, because I think just for one, women need to be empowered to know that it's okay to make the first move, to embrace your beauty and all that it is about you that somebody else will find attractive. And that little tidbit of info about how our bodies and our minds work a little differently during the time we're ovulating. Like, you have just set us up to win. So I'm so appreciative of this. This is an awesome quickie. Turned about to be a little longer than we expected as a quickie, but I think you have just given some powerful information that is really going to make women think differently about the way in which they participate in relationships. So I want to toast. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just don't want to see toast. You said you was going to toast?
All my wine is gone, but thank you so much for this information.
Yeah, I just don't want to see, you know, I like I said, I speak all over, and I see so many people saying, well, you know, they even come and ask me a question about, well, he doesn't come on to me, he doesn't notice me, or what do I do? You know, you don't have. It's not about that. It's you work. You're one of the employers. You got to understand. I mean, employees. You got to understand. You're one of the employees. The entrepreneur has to keep this thing going.
Yes.
He's not going to leave it just up to us men, right? You know, so he's going to leave it up to the woman. So when that woman walks by, hey, be that commercial, man. Be that commercial where the guy's like, whoa. And that you didn't have to say anything. You just walked by. You just walked by.
But you know what? So first of all, Ryeal Thomas, who's also a love coach, I've had her on the show. She said, make eye contact and hold it for 3 to 6 seconds. Look away, but make sure you make eye contact again to send confirmation that you are interested.
There you go. Thank you. What's her name? Sherelle?
Sherelle Thomas. I'll have to connect you guys because she's
Thomas.
Also, and she's a doctor. She's scolding you. She said it's a setup. Have 4 kids because of this. You about to get us all pregnant, doctor. It's all your fault. Before you go, though, I do want to ask you, just so I want to, because the truth of the matter is, yes, we do. If we make the initial contact, and then the man, but
it has to be subtle. We have to keep saying that.
The subtle contact. With that being said, how should we handle it if we've made the subtle contact, we've walked on by, and he just may not be interested in us? We might not. He might prefer a junior bacon cheeseburger from Wendy's versus a Big Mac from McDonald's. How do we handle that, knowing that he just wasn't interested? And I think I can imagine, ladies, let me know if I'm wrong. Put it in the comments. Let me know if that's kind of also what you may be thinking. Like, doctor, how do we handle that, knowing that we just might not be every dude's idea of the perfect hamburger?
You know, you're saying it. You're saying, how should we handle it? You are saying it. He just don't want the Big Mac. He just doesn't want the chicken McNuggets. That's all. He not all men.
Not all, just, right.
He just doesn't want the chicken McNuggets. You know, and if you have a friend, maybe you can go get your friend that's a Big Mac and say, hey, let me introduce you. And then you keep on moving. You keep on moving, and you never give up. You keep on moving to the next one, because you got to keep in mind. Keep in mind. You ever see a couple? You ever see? Many people have said this, and I know you guys are not going to say you said it, but you've ever seen a couple and you go, "Wow, how did he get her?" Or "How did she get him?" Or "How did he end up with her?" Or "How did he?" Look, the gentleman said it earlier on, and I also want to give I also want to say that was totally awesome, the gentleman before the gentleman, but the gentleman said we all have a need to belong. We all belong. You know, you remember those of you who had Maslow in college, and when you talk about Maslow, the hierarchy, right?
Yes.
And it talks about the people's needs, right? And one of the needs is, you know, to have water, to have food, to have a roof over our head. And one of the main need is a need to belong, right? That's again, it goes back to who gave us a need to belong? Who gave that to us? God, our boss. He hardwired us to have a need to belong, whether you gay or straight, right? Because gay people still need to belong. So they're still looking for a partner. Whether you gay or straight, we're hardwired. Every living, breathing creature on this earth have a need to belong.
Whew.
Hey.
Wow. Yes.
So when you turn down from that guy, you keep on pushing, because you know God put a need for all of us to belong. There's somebody out there. There's somebody that loves that Big Mac. There's somebody out there that says, I want that Big Mac. That's right.
Well, if you love Big Macs, men, here I am. I got the special sauce and everything. Come on, and some fries. And the 3 chocolate chip cookies, too. You use some chicken nuggets if you like. Give you a mocha frappe and a supersize sweet tea. Easy on the ice. Right. Whatever you like.
I like what is it?
Rilana. She said, just move on.
Yeah.
Such is life.
Just move on. It's such as life, because that is part of life. That's part of life. Just remember, this is the same thing that happened to us men. The same thing, no different. One man, oh man. It happens to the men. We walk up to you. Excuse me, you want to dance? No. You're like, you got to walk back. The Hall of Shame, right? Excuse me, can I have your telephone number? No. I got a man, you know. I got a man. You be like, man, you know, but that's part of it. That's all part of it. Why do you think those Rams are bumping into each other? Yeah. Why do you think those Rams are bumping into each other? Because they trying to win. They trying to be the person to win. They're like, hey, they trying to be hired.
Wow.
You know.
Well,
yeah.
Dr. Ryeal, I so appreciate you coming on here and breaking down the science. This is the perfect way to end the show. You are my final quickie for the evening, but I must say, I'm leaving here after speaking to you and all the men I had on tonight, much more empowered and I'm feeling good about the prospect of having a loving and great relationship in the future. So thank you so much for everything. I put your website down here and as well as your Instagram. Is there anything else you want to let people know about them getting in touch with you?
Oh, you can go to Facebook too as well. The relationship, it'll say Ryeal, Ryeal Simms, the relationship scientist. I have a couple of other doctors, Dr. Ryeal Simms website, Facebook, but I don't use that as much as the one that I'm using now that says Ryeal Simms, the relationship scientist. I post some of where I'm going to be speaking or my some of my webinars and seminars that I'm posting there too as well. And I just wanted to say thank you to all of your speakers. All of your speakers was like totally right on time.
Yes.
I was even going to talk about the emotional intelligence with men and you know why we are so intelligent. I mean emotional, and that we are just as emotional. You know, and maybe we can come on the show and talk about why men go straight to the fix-it mode too as well. You know, I just wanted him to listen. I didn't want him to try to start fixing, you know, but that's something that I would like to talk about too as well. I'm actually giving a seminar to therapists. So I'll be talking to therapists so they could also explain it to their clients a lot better too as well. So, hey man, I just want to appreciate it. You have so much love. You're very joyful. You wasn't uptight, you know, you just, you know, you make a person relax.
Yes.
You know, so I love it. I'm like, I got to come back. You know, I got to come back on the show. I have so many topics though. I mean, I have thousands, especially when it's just about the science of it. And yes, I talk about the science of everything.
Yeah, you know, I don't want us to go into it now because I want to save it, but I definitely want you to come back and talk about kissing. And I want to go through all of that. Don't tell them now. I want them to tune in.
Yeah.
But Dr. Ryeal has some interesting science to break down for all of us about basically the science of kissing. So we hopefully maybe in July, early on in July, if you have time, I would love to come back. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And you definitely got that Chicago swagger. I can tell you from the shy, although you live on the West Coast now.
Yeah, I'm still Chicago.
Yes. Thank you. So I appreciate you, and you and I will talk together soon. And somebody's here saying, yes, like we're loving you, doctor. So thank you so much. And for breaking everything down the way you did, I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Good. Okay. Well, good night, and I'll see you later.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. Woo, y'all, that was good. 5 quickies back to back, man. I'm a strong woman to handle all this tonight, but all of these men were amazing. I want to thank John, JL, Coach KJ, Robert, and Dr. Ryeal. Like it's been wonderful. I also, before I leave, don't want you all to forget 2 things. The first thing that I mentioned earlier in the show, if you are a business owner in Chicago, go back to the top of my show if you missed it and watch, because I offered you an amazing gift, okay? From Grace Meyer. She is offering free or pay what you can photography for business owners and entrepreneurs. That may be a headshot. You might need professional pictures taken of your product. You can actually send her your product, mail it to her, and she will take the photos for you and send them to you as digital files. She is a top-notch photographer in Chicago, and because she is a white girl who is more than an ally, she's an accomplice, she wants to help small businesses. So let me make sure I put her other info. Please do me a favor, go to her Linktree link, reach out to her, let her know that you saw this information on my nightcap show, but go to the beginning of my show. Go to the top of the show. You got to watch it. So make sure and send my show to any Black entrepreneurs in Chicago and tell them to watch the top of my show. They may not want to watch it all. I think they will, though. This was a good show. But I'm trying my best to do my part to help entrepreneurs. And Gracie took this wonderful photo of me. There I am. Hello. That's a headshot she took of me. Her work is amazing. So do that. And then also I have to shout out all the small businesses that are always supporting me here on the show. Down there we have the Creative Click cocktail that I drink. I drank all of it tonight. If you order from her, go to her Instagram. She will go ahead and mix up your drinks, y'all, and drop them off to you at your house. You can't beat that. She'll also ship anywhere in the country. So she has bottles that she can ship. I gotta say what's up to this cup was custom made for me. And it looks all dirty because I had a drink in it. The Starlights lady. She made this glass for me. My earrings are so rebellious, as well as my t-shirt. My earring stylist. I love my earring stylish. So rebellious. I'm not wearing a bra. Don't judge me. Mind your business. I didn't put a bra on today. I put one on for Kim Fox yesterday. Go watch my Kim Fox interview. Baby, me and Kim had a ball. Me and Attorney Fox. She said I can call her Kim, though. And then I got to shout out Poise Beauty, my lipstick I'm wearing. Shout out to her. All right. So I just want to show love to, I love small business. If you own a small business and you want to get some shine on my show, just reach out. It's all good. I don't ask for nothing. Don't forget, y'all. Please go to Linktree, Gracie Meyer. All of you all, see some of y'all watching the entrepreneur. Speak Like a Queen, Rolana. All of y'all, go get you a free or a pay as you can headshot. We all need new headshots. Teslin, I know you watching, boo. Teslin, go get you a new headshot. Sherelle, I think you're in Chicago. Call up Gracie. Either pay what you can or you can get them for free if you need. But watch the beginning of my show so you can get all the details. All right. I love all of y'all. Tomorrow night, listen, on my Sunday night show for Nightcap with Erica, we're talking all about Father's Day stuff, right? Tomorrow's show is going to be good because like I've said, I'm sure y'all daddies and y'all baby daddies and y'all husbands, everybody tired of them same damn gifts y'all keep giving, the wallet, the cool water cologne. You've been buying your daddy Old Spice cologne for the last 40 years. That's all he wants. 50 years. You've been buying Old Spice. But I'm going to have some entrepreneurs on my show tomorrow with some really cool gifts that are perfect for the men in your life. We're also going to talk to Eric Thomas, who is the executive editor-in-chief of the Quintessential Gentleman magazine. And he's going to talk about the state of the world as it relates to Black men today. He's going to also talk about some of his favorite Father's Day products. And we're just going to have a good ass conversation. That's tomorrow night. So make sure you all tune in, Nightcap. If you love me, feel free to make a donation. Tip your stripper, Miss Pound Cakes, if you like. It takes a lot of work for me to put this show on. It costs me some money, so I appreciate it. You can cash add me a Venmo, no pressure. If you do it, fine. Whether it's $1, $5, I don't care. But I appreciate the love. But what I really need from y'all, I so need you to please share my show. Share this episode. Tell people to watch it. My shows are really good. If you go to my YouTube channel, it's comedian Erica Faye Watson on YouTube, and see all my other shows. I'm really trying to do my best to put on something that will be fun and encouraging and make everybody feel good while we're going through all this craziness in life. So that's the biggest way you can support me, is spreading the word, letting all your friends know about Nightcap, because it really is a party. It's a fun show. If you have fun tonight, I want to hear your feedback. You can write it in the comments. You can send me a message on Facebook or Instagram. You can go to my website, nightcapwitherica.com, and let me know what you're thinking. And also, if there's anything that you think I should talk about on the show, let me know. In July, I got some dominatrix coming on that are going to give some whipping demonstrations and some paddling. What? I'm going to have people coming on talking about financial awareness, stocks, bonds, investments. We're going to talk about it all. I got some pastors coming on because, like I said, Nightcap with Erica celebrates everything from the righteous to the ratchet, from the pulpit to porn stars. You will find it here on my show. With that being said, I love all of y'all. Thank you so much for supporting me. And I really appreciate it. And I hope you're having a good time and enjoying my show. I will talk to you all later. Thank you very much. Good night. Hey, it's Erica from the South Side of the Chi, and I just completed the 2020 census. If you're not counted in, you'll be counted out. And I don't know about you, baby, but I want to be in, not out. What are you waiting for? Take the census. Go to 2020census.gov.